Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WIWTV, and for the first time ever, our coverage of motorsports here on WIWTV. I'm Roger Alcock, along with Quick Draw. Jacob Quick is our Friday night racing. Comes to you from the I-69 Speedway in Gas City, Indiana. And Jacob, I know this is something you've hoped for a while, to have WIWTV here. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. We should be in store for some great racing. Yeah, really excited to have WIW out here tonight to be able to bring some local racing here in the community of Grant County, but also to broadcast across the country and honestly across the world. Well, right now we have kind of some different divisions going through the hot laps, doing some qualifying. We'll get to some to the real racing, to the heats in about 25 minutes or so, but just a little bit ago, Jacob went along with our Russ Clark to give us kind of the inside scoop and an inside look at this classic I-69 Speedway here in Gas City, Indiana.
Let's take a walk through Gas City. Over here we got our ticket window. Everybody has to come through here. We're going to come up here and go to the right, go to our refreshment stand. Colleen is our chef. She does a phenomenal job. And take a look at some of the food we have to eat here. We've got chicken sandwiches, barbecue, cheeseburgers, corn dogs, tenderloins, breaded mushrooms, mozzarella sticks, popcorn, chicken strips, pretzels. A lot of refreshments over here in our coolers. I don't see Colleen right now, but she has the best food at any track in the country. We're going to take a walk now down to our gift shop, take a look at some of the apparel we have here at Gas City I-69 Speedway. You can hear the cars on track right now. They're doing wheel pack, get the track perfect for tonight's racing. So we'll take a look here into the gift shop. Our newest item we have tonight is tank tops. We had some hot weather here the last few weeks, and so this has been a really great item for us. Long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts. We have toys for the kids over here. Flags, license plates, earmuffs, checkered flags, hats. Anything you can think of that you would need while at the track, we have it here in the gift shop. We take a walk up through the tunnel now. As I mentioned earlier, we have cars on track doing wheel pack. But I thought I'd take a little minute to tell you guys a little bit more about Gas City I-69 Speedway. The track opened in 1986, ran for a few years, and then was dormant actually for almost a decade. And Jack Heimlich purchased the track. He partnered with Jiggs Thomason in 1997. They had a 17-year run promoting the facility. It sat dormant for a few more years, and then Jerry Gappens came on board last year to open the track up to weekly racing. So we have sprint car racing, modifieds, street stocks, Hornets, micro sprints, tough trucks. And tonight we have the Great Lakes Super Sprints, a traveling series out of Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, and Ontario, Canada. We'll take a walk down here across the front stretch now. You can see the cars on track. Some of the cars don't have wings. That's because right now we're just doing a wheel pack to get the surface prime and ready. Tacky is preferred, but some guys like slick, and so depending upon the weather throughout the week, depending upon the weather we have tonight, the surface is going to tend to different driving styles. I see the current points leader here in the 7C, the red and white car. He has 5 wins on the season. Last year he flipped in the opening laps. A little ways behind him, we see the white 85, Dustin Daggett. He was actually leading last year's race in turn 2 on the last lap, got in some lap traffic, and he actually finished second. But last weekend he was at Eldora Speedway with the Kings Royal, racing for $175,000. He's currently second in points. We're going to go ahead and go on back here to the pits. We've got our promoter right up here to the right in the blue shirt, Jerry Gappens, talking to Andy Bishop, one of our modified drivers. Say hello, Jerry.
Say hello, Jerry.
Take a quick walk back here to the pits now. Caleb right now is spraying down the chute. That makes sure that the drivers have good traction. The sprint cars actually don't have, they have to have a push start to get started, and so we actually put a truck behind them. We push them off into the the racing area, and so we got to make sure this is watered down. Caleb makes sure the cars get lined up. We're out on track on time. Right here is Barry Marlowe. He's the promoter of the Great Lakes Super Sprints, walking right here in the blue shirt. And we'll take one more quick walk back here. I see a modified right up here beside us. That's Dylan Nussbaum. He is our 2018 track champion. He actually won the track championship last year without picking up a win on the season. He was very consistent, had a lot of top fives, and I believe he finished every single race. So we're gonna walk back here. Hopefully they keep the engine running for us and have the opportunity to be able to hear this modified up close. If we take a look to our right, you'll see a lot of crewmen that come up on their four-wheelers. They're always watching the cars on track, getting a good feel for how the car's set up, how it's doing. Obviously right now they're just doing wheel pack, but later on during the race, this will be typically where these cars, four-wheelers and other vehicles will come up here and park with their crew members. And that's a look here at the facility at Gas City I-69 Speedway.
All right, there you got that inside look from Jacob Quick. And Jacob, really this last year, 2018 was a big year for Gas City I-69 Speedway, and you've kind of picked up where you left off then last year. Some exciting things going on here, and we're excited to be here tonight. But what makes it happen are the fans, right? You got to have the fans. You do it all for the fans. And in fact, speaking of fans, we're going to send it down to the stands with one of the guys of our crew. Luke, one of our students, is down, and he's going to be our trackside reporter tonight. So take it away, Luke.
We're about to be on. Well, we're out here in the stands at the Gas City Speedway. It's a great night. The crowd is electric and excited. There's mud flying up here from all over on the track. It's going to be a fantastic night.
Thank you very much. That's Luke Walton. Have you ever seen a right tackle with that kind of hair? Unbelievable. I'll tell you what, Jacob, though, if you come to Gas City Speedway early enough, you might see, speaking of fans, the track's #1 fan out in the pits, making sure everyone has a sweet treat. Earlier this season, Randall King Matt, Gas City's Candyman.
It's race day, but before hammer time, Dale Corporal makes sure drivers have candy time. Dale is one of Gas City Speedway's biggest fans.
Oh, I hear that.
Take the bag for him, so we got a whole bag full. Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you.
I had something that I brought him a whole bag.
Hey! Good.
Get you some. Let's get you some.
And for more than 20 years of entertainment, he now gives something back to everyone.
Come over on Friday night, gives me something to do. A person said to me one time, said, "You mean you buy all that candy just to give away?" I said, "Yeah, why?" "Oh, I wouldn't do that." Well, he drank. And I said, you spend more money in the tavern one night than I do the race over here.
But fans can't live on candy alone.
Cheeseburger.
Soon enough, it's time for a hearty racetrack dinner.
Where's the salt? Gotta have onion, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And then the Candyman is off the clock, heading for his favorite seat with the best view.
You watch them go around, you can get a good angle of corners. And we're just like it here. When they go out there hot lapping, they run it in, then they'll go out there and right down in here, they're broadsiding, and some of that stuff flies up there.
As for racing X's and O's, Dale didn't grow up with the sport, but he knows what he likes.
I love the sprints, that's the main thing. Now they got up there 900. That's all horses.
The thrill of this chase made Dale's retirement years better.
I have fun doing what I do, and I made a lot of friends. It's been a wonderful ride for me.
And as long as the cars keep chasing the sunset in Gas City, this Candyman still can.
Well, there you have that piece from the Candyman. Certainly a fixture here at the Gas City Motor Speedway. Well, Jacob, we've got a lot of racing on tap. Right now, we've got Some warm-ups on the track right now. This is the, what series is this out here right now?
We have the Hornet division right now on track. That white 00 there is James Headley Jr. He's current points leader here at the track. There's actually a $100 bounty to beat him and his dad. They've won the last 5 races, so if any of the other cars here tonight can beat the Headley family, they get an extra $100.
All right, well, we'll find that out a little bit later this evening. A lot of racing action coming your way. In just a little bit, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment more from the Gas City I-69 Motor Speedway here on WIW. I-69 Speedway. WIW-TV brings you coverage of racing action Friday night here from Gas City, Indiana. Roger Elcock and Jacob Quick here. And Jacob, I don't know, could you ask for a better night for racing here on a Friday night? It was a little not too warm during the day, but perfect conditions tonight.
Yeah, this is actually a beautiful night for racing. It's not too hot, not too cool. The track looks to be in really great shape, so we should be in for a good night of racing.
All right, well, if you ever wondered what the drivers see inside of all that dust and craziness that's going down down at the track, well, last year we took our cameras inside one of the cars and took a few laps around this Gas City track with one of the local drivers.
Welcome back to Crossroads. We're still on location here at the Gas City I-69 Speedway, and Tyler Hewitt, a driver from Marion, welcome, is joining us. Tyler, you're going to take us on a very special ride in just a moment.
Yep.
But I want to hear how you got into this. You've been doing it 8 years. You look like a kid.
Yeah, right. I'm actually 30 years old. I'll be 31 in August. My dad raced when I was a kid. I kind of got hooked on it then. I went sprint car racing and watched as a fan growing up. And I was really hooked on it then, and something I wanted to do for a living. I work as a guy that sells parts and does this during the week to sell parts, work on race cars. I do this on the weekends. We probably race about 40 times a year. And I got my own car when I was 19 and been going strong ever since.
Everyone tells us you just can't explain it. You just have to get it in your system. What is it about the sprints? I mean, you're gonna drive for us in a moment. You're out in the open. The mud's everywhere. You just love all that?
No, I do. It's a adrenaline rush. It really is. You really can't explain the feeling you get out there racing. I mean, it's great. It's just, you got to have a passion for it. I mean, that's all it comes down to. It takes a lot of time. I mean, it's what I do all summer long. I do nothing else, and I just enjoy it, and glad I get to do it as long as I have.
What's it like to race locally back in Gas City again?
Locally, it's been great. I'm so happy Jerry Gaffins just came in. It's taken this place back over. We traveled a lot the last 3 or 4 years, and it's kind of hard on a budget to travel and race as much as we do. But now having this place on Friday nights and being 15 minutes from home, it makes it so much better. So.
No, we're going to take people inside, what you rarely get to see. We have a lot of cameras, and you're going to take us not on a race, but on a pat down.
Yep.
So I'm going to step aside and let the driver do the work. He's going to explain to us what he sees as he drives.
Marion Tire Company on the bypass for your tire and auto repair service needs.
We got a decent amount of temperature in the motor, so shut the motor off. You can't start these up when they're already running. You can't go again, so you got to shut them off, put them in gear. So that's what we'll do now. So now we're rolling up to go practice. lock the car in gear again. My dad asking me if I'm good. He's just making sure I'm locked in gear, make sure everything's okay. Got the fuel turned on, car locked in gear. Shoving off just like last time. Oil pressure up. Turn it on, and we're back rolling again. As you can see, the lighter part of the track right here is where everybody just ran the last 2 sessions. So that track is starting to get worn right there, but it'll have grip. The bottom's still kind of slimy, I'm sure. The real dark part on the top is just where there's still a cushion forming, where there's going to be like a berm there. Kind of launches it back into the racetrack as you get in the corner. So right now we're pretty much going to get ready to go green and make sure everything feels good, get some practice laps, get comfortable for the night, make adjustments if I need to before our first race. So, you know, you're not getting no time or not getting points or place for right now, but it's still a big part of your night to make sure your race car is going to handle correctly. They're telling us right now on the radio, keep ourselves spread out. We're getting ready to go green. See, everybody's kind of idling right now. Okay, here we go.
Got a good look inside the car of Tyler Hewitt, one of the local Grant County racers here, kind of a regular here at Gas City. Now,
Yeah.
that is the non-wing sprint cars that you saw there. We actually don't have those tonight. We're going to talk a little bit more about this later, but tonight, special night here at Gas City because we're featuring the wing sprint cars, part of the GLSS series here. We'll talk more about that, but a little bit different style of racing, and it's kind of fun to switch things up here and see a different style of racing.
Yeah, we don't get wing sprint cars here at Gas City very often, I think 3 times this year, so it's really cool to bring those to the track and to bring those to fans that usually don't get to see them.
Well, speaking of fans, and you mentioned there are fans that certainly love a wing sprint car, so we're going to send it back down to trackside with the man with the wonderful hair, Luke Watson.
Watson, like hot tubs?
I might, yeah. Okay, well, we had a little problem down there. The problem, Jacob, was I said Luke Watson. Of course, it's Luke Walton there. We hopefully get back down with him in just a little bit. But I wanted to mention here while we have a moment, kind of some of the people are bringing you this broadcast tonight here on WIW-TV. Of course, Randall King and Nathan Johnson, Russ Clark, Paul Crisp, all with WIW-TV. Then there's, I can't name them all, but a host of students who are working behind the scenes, running the cameras and other things, making it all happen. Now, once we get to actual racing action, we're happy to toss things over to our veteran track announcer, Rob Goodman, who will give us all the action there. But certainly a lot of people coming together to bring you action tonight. We want to say thank you to all of them. It takes a big effort. I just show up, about 2 hours before racing, but they've been out here all day getting things ready to go here. And you also want to thank the good folks here at Gas City Speedway. And, you know, you gave us the look earlier, the inside look, but, you know, there's some people here. There's a lot of people working here behind the scenes to put on racing here, and it's really a huge team effort, isn't it?
It's definitely a team effort, and I think it's almost like a family as well. Our promoter, Jerry Gavin's, has done a great job to bring in a lot of great people to work here, whether it's our flagman Mark Orr, or you mentioned earlier Rob Goodman, our announcer. You know, we have people down in the pits, safety crew members, local Grant County EMT and rescue squad, push truck drivers, people working the concession stand, the gift shop, people taking care of payroll and making sure the drivers get their payout when they finish the racing tonight. So just a lot of people that go into making a race night happen.
Well, speaking of race night, this is the 13th night, I believe, of the season so far, and as we mentioned, part of a big thing tonight is the wing sprints. The GLSS, more popular up in Michigan, Northern Ohio, but starting to make its way down here into Indiana. And as we look into the pits, you'll see, you know, all the different divisions here. But again, I want to talk a little bit more about that as you see the wing series here. That wing obviously is a totally different style of racing as it causes more downforce and just a little bit difference in the engines and those kinds of things.
Yes.
But definitely a different style of racing here tonight.
Yeah, the wing sprint cars, when they get into the corner, they're waiting for that wing to take a set, kind of help set the tires in the corner. Whereas a non-wing sprint car, which we saw earlier with Tyler Hewitt, you're just kind of throwing it in there, and you're kind of doing a lot of driving with the throttle. Not as much with the wing sprint cars in here. We see some Hornets, some micro sprints. That orange one there, I think I saw a sponsor from Kansas.
Yeah.
So not sure if that driver's from Kansas, but a sponsor from Kansas. A few more of the wing sprint cars here. A modified there, the 114 of Clayton Bryant.
Which is what you would normally see. That'd be kind of a normal or a traditional thing here on a Friday night in Gas City. The modifieds, the Hornets, the non-winged, those kinds of vehicles, or those machines are what you normally see here on a Friday night.
Yeah, our weekly racing is non-wing sprint cars, modifieds, Hornets, and then street stocks, which we don't actually have tonight. And then sometimes we'll have a fifth division that kind of rotates in and out there. So, but yeah, we're seeing a few of the Hornets here. I think we'll pan back over here in a second and see some of the tough trucks that'll be racing here tonight. One of our Hornet drivers, I think, is behind a tough truck, maybe for the first time tonight. Excited for that. Might be his first time driving a tough truck here at Gas City.
And the tough trucks, a lot of those guys come from the Ohio, if I recall, or they're headquartered out of Ohio.
Yeah, most of them race over at tracks in Ohio, and there was one that wasn't going to put them on the schedule this year, and we put it out on social media to see if we'd have any interest, and quite a few spoke up, and so we've had them on the schedule a few times, and I think we've got them one more time after tonight back here at the Speedway.
And when these trucks or when these drivers arrive, you know, the trucks pulling their trailers, you know, they're pulling the pits, but there's quite a bit of activity that's going to go on back here before they get to racing, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. They've got to do a lot of tuning on the cars, getting engine heat to make sure everything's working properly there, cleaning things off, and just doing a lot of last-minute prep. A lot of times you'll pack it up after a race night. You may go wash the car, but you may not do a lot of some of those fine-tuning things on the car. Each time you go to a different track, they race different. You might need a different setup. You might need to stagger the tires differently for the sprint cars. And so a lot of work to be done even when you do get to the track and you get to roll the car off the hauler.
Well, speaking of what we'll see tonight, we're just about wrapping up the hot laps and the qualifying and things like that. Just a little bit here. We're going to get ready for the racing to actually begin. We're going to have different heats for the different, you know, the divisions here, and then later on tonight we'll get into the feature racing. Now I do think we have Luke Walton down on trackside, so we're going to go check in with him right now.
I'm here with Rich Mickelson, and Rich, I heard that you used to race here.
Yeah.
What cars did you used to race?
Sprint cars. And I raced about 5 years and then wasted money, so I sold it. I got out of it. It was a losing game.
Can you kind of talk me through, like, what's it feel like to be down there on the track racing?
Oh, it's neat. It's a kick in the butt when you get on the throttle in them sprint cars. There's a lot of horsepower there for weight ratio, and It's a lot of fun, but expensive.
That's really cool. So I heard you got a couple friends out there. What kind of cars do they race?
Well, sprint cars. I'm a sprint car fan, and I got Shane Cottle's a friend of mine, and Thomas Meserol's been winning here a lot this summer, this season. His car owner is a guy I know I used to race with, Tom Eads, and it's a lot of fun, but like I said, it costs a lot of money to do it.
So how often do you come out here to the course?
I come out here at Gas City on Fridays, every Friday that I can, almost every one, and go to Kokomo on Saturday nights, or Sunday nights, every Sunday night. But race fan.
Thank you so much, Rich. Roger, back to you.
All right, there you go. Luke Watson, thank you so much. Well, Jacob, we're not too far away from racing action. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more from the Gas City I-69 Speedway here in Gas City, Indiana.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Crossroads. I'm Randall King.
And I'm Katie Key.
It's Kappa.
There we go.
There we
If
go.
he tries, it actually works. Now I can maybe actually get some. I'm Randall King.
And I'm Katie Key. The Crossroads of Life brings people together, and that's what we try to do here each week.
Thanks for watching, everyone. So long.
Welcome back live to the Gas City I-69 Speedway here as WIW-TV for the first time ever brings you motorsports here on WIW Sports. And Jacob, we're just a few moments away from our opening ceremonies, and we're going to get down to some racing action. And once again, it's going to be a beautiful night. We're going to be checking in with Rob Goodman, our track announcer here, but I think we're ready for the national anthem. So if so, we're going to send it down to the track here in just a moment.
Sprint car racing, make sure you make your way just the next exit up on I-69. Make a right, you go down there to Montpelier, you make a right before the railroad tracks, and you'll be able to see some great racing over there tomorrow evening. So we encourage you to keep following the racing this weekend. The USAC Indiana Sprint Week is continuing down in Bloomington tomorrow or tonight, and then they finish the week at Hopstadt tomorrow night. So they'll have their champion crown for the week. So a lot of good racing going on in the state of Indiana. So looks like our trucks have pulled off. Need to kill the music up there a little bit, Rob, and we're going to have Bruce Cohen from the Heartland Church in Sharpsville, Indiana, right there on Highway 19, lead us in our invocation, and then remain standing as Rob will play our national anthem up there as opposed to me singing. So we're glad you're here. Everybody, please stand and remove your hats as we prepare to honor our Lord and our great nation in which we have the privilege to live.
Let's pray together. Father, we come to you this evening in the name of Jesus. Lord, we thank you first of all for this perfect weather that we're having and we're experiencing right now. Lord, I thank you for the race drivers and the race teams that we've got here this evening. I thank you, Lord, for their safety. Lord, I thank you for this nation and the leadership that we have. Thank God that we are one nation under God. And Lord, I thank you that as we do look and honor and respect you, Lord, I thank you that you honor our armed forces, Lord, as they're across the world, keeping our planet safe, keeping our nation safe, so that we can enjoy the things that we do and live in this land of freedom and this land of opportunity. So, Lord, we thank you that your blessing is upon this. Thank you, Lord, that every person here will return to their home safely tonight without any incidents. And we just thank you for those things right now in the precious name of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Bruce. Please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
It's time to go racing. Back up to Rod Goodman.
Thank you very much, Jerry. Welcome to a fast Friday night here at the Gas City I-69 Speedway. Getting ready to go the first of 3 8-lap heats for our Great Lakes Super Sprints here this evening. Kistler Engines and Parts Heat Race number 1. Getting ready to get pushed off here tonight. Top 2 out of the heats will go to the redraw. Everybody goes to the main event. Here's your scheduled lineup for heat race number 1. On the pole out of Parma, Michigan, the 27 machine. That'll be Brad Lamberson. And to the outside of him, the veteran out of Bellevue, Michigan, the 49T, it's Greg Dahlman. Row 2 on the inside out of Portland, Michigan, currently sitting second in Great Lakes Super Sprint points. That's the 85 of Dustin Daggett. To the outside of him, your quick qualifier out of Kokomo, Indiana, the 02, it's Brandon Long. Row 3, the Coldwater, Michigan driver, Andy Chahowski at the 20A will to the inside. The 15-year-old out of Sparta, Michigan, Andrew Scheid aboard the 77 will be to his outside. And out back by himself, all by himself in row number 4, out of Harlan, Michigan, the 99, that is Jack James. So, ladies and gentlemen, 7 cars here for heat race number 1 for the Great Lakes Super Sprints here tonight at Gas City.
We're just a few moments away from the start of racing here, and Jacob Quick, what a great shot there from WIW Air 1. I think Russ Clark at the controls. Great shot here of the Gas City I-69 Speedway. This is, though, heat 1 of 3 heats in the Great Lakes Super Sprints, wing sprints. And so heat number 1, excuse me, but starting in lane number 2, keep an eye on number 85, car 85, Dustin Daggett out of Portland, Michigan. He's currently sits at 2nd place in the current point standings for the GLS as standings here in 2019. But heat 1 of 3, and then later on this evening, I'll come back to the features. The heats are 8 laps. The feature event, of course, will be a 25-lap event.
I don't believe he's come out on the track yet, but the 49T of Greg Dahlman is another one to keep an eye on. He's 3rd in points, has 1 win on the season, and 10 top 5. So this should be a good battle between the 85 of Dustin Daggett and the 49T of Greg Dahlman.
Another guy that maybe some fans tonight will be looking at here or paying special attention to, number 2 car, Brandon Long. He's a local product out of Kokomo, Indiana. Most of these guys are coming, as we said, from either the state of Michigan or, well, Jack James in the number 99 car out of Harlan, Indiana.
Yeah, this series predominantly races in either northern Indiana, Michigan, but they also branch over into Ohio and Ontario as well. So cars coming from all over, 4 different states, or in 2 countries, really, for the Great Lakes Super Sprints.
All right, we're getting ready for some racing. Again, this will be the heat number 1 out of 3, 8 laps. We're going to send it back over here to our track announcer, Rob Goodman, who will take it from here.
Normal starting spot here, but you see the white line there to help out the 360 drivers as well, looking for a good side-by-side start off at turn number 4. So keep your eyes on the Wing Warriors. Things will happen here in a hurry. 8 fast ones on tap. Top 2 go to the redraw. Brad Lamberson, Dahlman, your front row. Daggett, Long, row 2. Chahowski, Scheid, row 3. James out back. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get after it here on a Friday night. It's race time at Gas City. Let's watch them off turn number 4. Good start, green flag. Here we go. On the break, everybody tiptoes through 1 and 2. Looking for a little bite down the back straightaway. It's going to be Brad Lamberson. The Parma, Michigan driver will lead on by here in the 27, lap 1 in the books. Lamberson out front right now. Dahlman sits on the hot seat when it comes to the redraw. Daggett now quick lift to the third spot. Quick qualifier, the 0-2 long now challenges him to the outside. So the Texas native Brandon Long up to the third spot. Not good enough to get to the redraw though. Top two starting to sneak away here. Things happen in a hurry. 3 down, 5 to go. Lamberson out front here controlling heat race number 1. The Kistler engines apart heat here. Halfway, 4 down, 4 to go for the 27. Lamberson out front now, about a half straightaway advantage. Long up over the lip. That'll cost him back to the 4th spot here. Not what he needed. Scheid sits in the 5th spot. Chahowski sits now. The wheels falling off, so to speak, of the 0-2 car. Losing touch with Dustin Daggett. Laps winding down. It'll be 2 to go here at the line. Brad Lamberson looking smooth here at the Gas City I-69 Speedway. White flag in the air, 1 to go for the Parma, Michigan racer. Dahlman right now looks like he's headed to the redraw. Just got a set of corners left. Off of turn number 4, it's all Brad Lamberson here in heat race number 1. Greg Dahlman comes home 2nd. Daggett will be in the 3rd spot. Long will come home 4th. Scheid will be 5th. Chahowski will be 6th. Jack James rounds out your field. So Scheid comes home 5th. Brandon Long 4th. Dustin Daggett 3rd. Going to the redraw, the 49T, that's Greg Dahlman. And race fans, nice round of applause for the driver out of Parma, Michigan. Your Kistler engine and part heat race winner, the 27 of Brad Lamberson.
Brad Lamberson, number 1 winner, 27 car, 49T. Greg Dahlman, you talked about him out of Bellevue, Michigan. 2nd place, 3rd place is Dustin Daggett. So now, Jacob, those are top 3, but how will we know who advances now into the features?
Yeah, so everybody actually advances into the feature, but the top 2 in each heat go to what we call the all-important redraw. And so they'll do a redraw for the top 6 places in the feature, and that'll take place after these heat races are over. Pretty interesting in that heat race, 1, 2, and 3, actually all the way back to 4th. It's how they started, and that's how they finished.
Well, the 2nd heat coming up here, heat number 2, we'll have the 28 car is Connor Morrell out of Bradenton, Florida. In lane 1, also then in lane 1, 18 is Michael Summers out of Warsaw, Indiana, just up the road. Dan McCarron in the 22 car out of Britain, Michigan.
So Dan McCarron actually raced earlier with us this year. These are 360 cubic inch engines. He raced with the SOD series, 410 series, so 410 cubic inch engine, and he actually had a pretty nasty flip during that race, and so he's back again. Heard that he's hoping to not have the same result as he did last time. Tore up a lot on that car. I believe he even left his wing back in the pit area. Starting beside him is Phil Gressman in the 7C. He's the current points leader for the Great Lakes Super Sprints. He has 5 wins on the season, 12 top 5s, and 15 top 10s, and they've had 15 races. So he's been really consistent, probably part of why he is the points leader. Rounding out that heat race in the 16W is Garrett Saunders, and the 84 of Kyle Portenga from Woodland, Michigan.
We're just about ready for heat number 2. You talked about Dan McCarron, Britain. Britain, a very little small town just outside of, probably closest town would be Adrian, Michigan, but southeast Michigan. But this is heat number 2. The wing sprint cars are just about ready.
Getting the sign 1 to go from our flagman Mark R. Next time around, we'll be going green flag racing. They're putting the chalk line out there down there at the exit of turn 4. They cannot start the race until they get past that chalk line. So cars got to stay double file until they get past that chalk line.
Send it on over to Rod Goodman, our track announcer.
Here we go, the 28 and the 18 going to bring us to life. Looking for a good side-by-side start at the chalk line. Green flag out, here we go. So Connor, the black 28, oh baby, get the bike out here early. Aaron Sanders gets a little tipsy in the 16, puts it back down. We stay green. So some snug 360s here in heat race number 2. Got to get them freed up, boys. Roll the corners of the Florida driver out front. Connor Morrow out front, the 22. Dan McCarron's got some experience here at Gas City. He sits in the second spot. Gressman right now has got to pin the ears back in the 7 machine. Outside looking in, and when it comes to the redraw, looking for a little grip shit on the top side of turn number 2. Gets a good run down the back straightaway quickly. We're halfway, 4 down, 4 to go. So a lot of these drivers don't have a ton of lap here at Gas City, trying to figure out the sweet spot, so to speak, here. Heat race competition, but the Florida youngster got it figured out here, starting to walk away from the 22. Dan McCarron battled for that redraw spot, starting to heat up here a little bit. Gressman hanging it on the front straightaway, trying to use every bit of that quarter mile here. Closes within 2 car lengths. White flag in the air. Watch that battle for the redraw spot. Gressman tiptoes the top side off of turn number 4. He'll go up top once again. Maybe a crossover down the back straightaway. Here we go off of turn number 4. The Florida youngster is going to pick up the heat race win. All eyes on the battle for the redraw spot. Woo! Wow, Michael Summers comes home in the 4th spot. Phil Gressman wanted it bad, race fans, comes home 3rd, gets it into the old front stretch. Didn't do that thing any good, but not a lack of effort there. Dan McCarron, your runner up the 22. As the 28 heads back down the runoff road, the youngster out of Bradenton, Florida. Put your hands together for the black 28M.
Jacob, don't tell Phil Gressman this is just heat. He was racing hard there, fighting for that 2nd place spot that went to Dan McCarron. And, of course, Connor Morrell winning heat number 2. But Phil Gressman went into the wall here right in front of our flag man there. And he's going to have to get towed off the track.
You see the replay here. So he's really battling for that redraw spot. He gets a little too high over the cushion, man. He banged the right rear and the right front. Probably have some suspension damage to that car, and he is our current points leader, so that's big news there. See if he can get that fixed for the feature later on. Luckily, we do have a few different divisions here tonight, and so he'll have time to go to work on that car and hopefully get that thing taken care of back at the hauler and hopefully be ready to roll out for the feature. But that's how important the redraw is here at Gas City, wanting to get in that top 6. He was battling really hard and just got a little too far over the cushion and got into that wall.
Well, we'll have one more heat of this division, the GLSS Sprint Cars. One more 8-lap heat there, and then following that, we'll move on into the 600cc winged micro sprints. And I'm gonna be honest, that looks like a lot of fun to race in that winged micro sprint vehicle. Quite a bit difference in terms of horsepower between the 2 divisions, but man, that looks like a lot of fun racing. We're going to have some fun watching those guys.
Yeah, we will have a lot of fun. I don't know if he's here tonight, but I know that one of our track chaplains actually races one of those micro sprints from time to time, and actually just saw an article here today talking about how for folks in their 50s, they're kind of finding a second wind, a second life, and they're starting to race some of those. So, but I see our Great Lakes Super Sprints rolling out onto the track.
Well, while we got a moment here as Phil Gressman is getting towed off the track, we're going to check in once again down trackside with Luke Watson.
I'm right here up against the track, and as you can see, mud is taking the side of this fence. It's getting all over the first fly, all across the track, spit up mud onto all the out here. It's been so much fun to see all the cars just whiz around the track. And it's even been a little bit dangerous as we've seen a couple of cars spin out. We're going to go back to Roger now with a little bit more of the action.
Jacob, as we're getting ready for heat number 3, of course, dirt track racing as we have the heats. As the night progresses, track conditions will certainly change up and be a little bit different as we move on along in the heats and then later on to the features.
Yeah, as the night rolls on, the track will slick off a little bit. It'll make for some exciting racing. Means that if the track's not tacky, the cars are going to slide and slip, and we'll be excited to see how that happens with the wing sprint cars. They definitely handle it a little different than the non-wing that we usually see here, but We see right now the 11R of Chase Ridnour. He's currently 4th in the Great Lakes Super Sprint points. Not a win on the season yet, but he does have 6 top 5s and 11 top 10s. So he should be one to watch in this feature.
Give you the lineups here for heat number 3. Lucas Smith in the number 61 car out of Lebanon, Indiana. 27X, Jared Lambertson out of Parma. Jared, the brother of Brad Lambertson, who was in heat number 1. 18 car, Josh Shantz out of Waterloo, Ontario. You mentioned the Canadian in this race. 11R is Chase Ridenour out of Perry, Michigan. Lyndon Jones from Edwardsburg, Michigan. And then in the number 91L car, Alexis Adgate from Middleville, Michigan. It'll be the 3rd of our 3 heats here in this division. We're just about ready to start heat number 3. So once again, Rob Goodman.
Getting the elbows up big time, trying to get that spot here in heat race number 2. So that's what it means for these guys getting the redraw here this evening. So Lucas Smith, Jarrett Lamberson, your front row for the final heat of the night. Slow pace down the back straightaway. Putting along, almost resembling a herd of turtles down the back straightaway. Slowly picking up the pace here a little bit. Once again, Chuck Line off of turn number 4 is where they get on the loud pedal. Here we go. Final heat of the night for the Great Lakes Super Sprints. Off and rolling. Everybody looking for a little room to operate on the brake. As Lucas Smith going to go wheel to wheel with Lamberson down through 3 and 4. The Lebanon, Indiana driver will lead a lap here at Gas City. Chase Ridenour go way upstairs in the 11 car. He is now ducked down low. Can he get a 2-for-1 combo down the back straightaway? There's one part of the equation trying to seal the deal off at turn number 4. Lamberson out front, got a whole bunch, a hot mess of a problem behind him. Chase Ridenour in 11 coming in a hurry. Ridenour now to the inside. Great battle for the top spot. Jones now 3rd. Lucas Smith in the 4th spot. Good battle here down the back straightaway between the 27 and 11. Quickly, we talked about how fast things happen. Halfway, 4 down, 4 to go. We got a new leader. So Ridenour gets out front and sets sail down the back straightaway. Big advantage now in that black 11. Quickly at the line. Advantage is 1.24 seconds. So out front and moving quickly here on a Friday night. 2 to go at the line for the Michigan racer. Lamberson sits in the 2nd spot. Jones, the Canadian, Shantz, Smith, and Adgate out back. White flag in there this time. Dominating performance in the 2nd half for Chase. Battle heating up for the 3rd spot, but this one will belong to Chase Ridenour to Perry, Michigan, your heat race winner. Jared Lamberson comes home 2nd, Shantz 3rd, and Lyndon Jones. So Jones comes home with the 4th spot. Shantz 3rd, going to the redraw, joining his brother Jared Lamberson in the 27X. And race fastens, how about it? Quick hot rod here tonight. It's going to be a factor in that 25 lapper out of Perry, Michigan. How about it? Chase Ridenour in the 11 machine. Good stuff there. Heat race number 3. Once again, moving on to the 600s. As we talked about, Alexis Adgate doing double duty, so we got to give her a second to get ready to go.
All right, wow, that was a pretty exciting race there that time. Chase Ridenour out of Perry, Michigan, who started on the outside of lane 2. And some aggressive driving there pays off for Chase as he wins heat number 3. Jared Lambertson finishes 2nd. Josh Shantz 3rd there. But heat racing can be a lot of fun, can't it, Jacob?
Yeah, and it's very important, too. He was already in a transfer spot, but it tells you just how much these guys want to get out here and win, even if it is a heat race, battling. And once he had that inside lane, he was able to set sail and really pull away from the field. We're going to take a look at a replay here, it looks like, from that heat race and that battle with Jared and Chase.
Mm-hmm. And this was the key moment where he got the pass here on the inside and then really pulled away.
Yeah, I think actually on that next lap was when he made the pass, but he stuck his nose down in there in 3 and 4 on that lap and was able to see that he's able to draw even with Jared, and and knew that next time around, if he was able to dive bomb him a little harder, that he was going to be able to complete it and slide up in front of him. So that was a great heat race. And our track announcer here, Rob Goodman, alluded to it. Alexis Adgate actually is going to be racing with the 600cc winged micros in this next heat. So giving her just a little time, and I think they'll be rolling out here on the track shortly.
Yeah, she literally has to get back to the pits, jump out of one vehicle, back in the other one. Now, as you mentioned, we'll be moving on into the 600cc winged micro sprints. Again, those will be the 8-lap heat. Well, 2 heats in that division there. The first heat with 7 cars in that. We'll get to those really quick here. But again, the winged micro sprints, you know, the similar look, obviously,
yes.
but the smaller engines, motorcycle engines, and won't be quite as loud.
No, it won't be. A little more high-pitched, sound a little different, and you mentioned them being a little smaller, hence the micro portion of their name. I did take a look here at some notes, and it looks like in our second heat, Mike Landis, he won the other winged micro sprint race we had this year back on Friday, June 28th in Summer Thunder. He's from Logan Sport, so he might be one to watch, but he's coming up in the second heat. But I think we're going to take it down to some fans here in a second.
Well, you know, Jake, of course, racing is a big deal all over Indiana, especially here in Gas City where we have our regulars. Russ Clark recently spent some time in the stands with the people who keep racing hot every summer here in Grant County.
The sun broke through the clouds this past Friday evening at the Gas City Speedway, but despite the sunshine, the thunder was rolling and the mud was flying. For the past several years, the Speedway has laid fairly dormant, with only a handful of events during the summers. But this year, the track is under new management and ripping into a summer full of Friday night events. People are excited by the Speedway's resurgence, especially some of the drivers. Drivers like Jamie Fredrickson. He and his team from Kokomo love the Gas City Speedway.
This is my favorite track. Everything about it's perfect. It's always nice and tacky most of the time, and it's just, that's what I love. I love tacky, and that's what they keep this. The facility is amazing. It's always been. They always take care of the people, the fans, the drivers. It's fan friendly.
As excited as drivers are for the roaring return of the raceway, fans are even more excited to be back out on the track.
Oh man, I love it because we've been coming to this track, or I've been part of this track ever since it opened up back in the mid-'80s. And when it went down, I was really, really disappointed. I was really sad that they weren't using it or utilizing it the way that it should be. And now that it's coming back to life, it's just fantastic. I plan to come here often.
You know, last few years it's been kind of rough, and it's good to see them out working the track and making it better.
Souvenirs, driving simulators, and unique intermission entertainment offer fans plenty of excitement. But at the end of the day, it's the thrill of the race that fills the grandstand.
I just love racing, all kinds of racing. Motorcycles, cars, sprint cars, anything goes fast. I'm there.
This track's a lot of fun though. It gets really racy, get some great drivers up here. It's just good to see this one alive again.
Racing is as much a part of a Hoosiers' DNA as basketball. So the resurgence of the track doesn't come as a surprise to anyone.
Racing in Indiana racing's the backbone of Indiana. The smell of that fuel and the people and the excitement.
I just love dirt. I love it.
As long as there are those who love to go fast, there will be those who love to watch. Rain or shine, but always a little cloudy. For Crossroads, I'm Russ Clark.
So Adgate out front here in heat race number 1. Darren Nida in the 7 machine now into the 2nd spot. So Adgate right now whipping up on the boys here at Gas City. Dominant performance. She'll see the white flag, 1 to go. Alexis. So heat race number 1 in the books. Coming home third, Rick Rhodes. Darren Nida, the 7-year runner-up. Race fans, give her a nice round of applause. Alexis Adgate picking up a heat race win here at Gas City. As we get ready to go with heat number 2. 6 cars, 8 laps. They'll be rolling out of the racetrack. This will set up the outside row for their 15-lapper a little bit later tonight. Jacob Coop in the 99K. Scheduled to go.
All right, there was indeed heat number 1 in the micro sprints. One more heat to go. It'll be heat number 2. Well, good thing we waited for Alexis Adgate. Gave her a chance to, after that last heat in the sprint cars. When she came out here in the micro sprints and just totally dominated that heat and came away with a great win in that heat right there. We're just about ready for heat number 2. So here we go.
The 87, Franklin from 6, quickly now challenging for the top spot down the back straightaway. Good battle up front here, second and final, 600 heat here tonight. Landis on the bottom, Franklin looking on the outside now, we'll sneak a peek on the bottom side here. We'll be halfway next time by. Top 2 have broken away for the rest of the field. Cross flags this time for Mike Landis. Nate Franklin all over the back of him. Sean Bone holds on to the 3rd spot. Dawson Phillips 4th. Colin Grissom in the 5th spot. The front 2 have checked out, and they're gone here in heat number 2. Oh, just about gets into the leader. They're off turn number 4. Keep an eye on the top 2 there. Mike Landis out front. Laps winding down. Nate Franklin trying to wear him out. Franklin all over your leader like a cheap suit down the back straightaway. Dawson Phillips out of the event. White flag in the air, 1 to go. Landis with a little bit of breathing room off at turn number 2. Now about 2 car lengths down the back straightaway. Franklin looking for some room to operate. Not sure he's going to be able to make it happen, and it's going to be Mike Landis picking up the heat race win. Nate Franklin 3rd. Battle for the 3rd spot off at turn number 4. It's going to be Sean Bone coming home 3rd. So Sean Bone comes home to the 3rd spot. Your runner-up, Nate Franklin, good run for him. And race fans, how about it? Mike Landis picking up a heat race win here tonight in the 3L. Good job for Mike. As we move on to the mighty 4 cylinders, the Gas City Hornets getting ready to get the elbows up here. 8 laps. Stevie Clark out of Kokomo on the pole in the X machine. Joey Eastis to the outside of him, the 32X. Jason Spencer inside row number 2 to 78. Brad Evans in the 34 machine to the outside of him. Row 3, Jacob Beard to the 75 alongside of him. The green machine, a feature winner this year, that's Gage Allen. The 24A, out back Charlie Teagarden in the 11. And James Headley Jr. starting 8th in a 00 once again. Headley's been awfully good here in the Hornets. If anybody can beat them tonight, extra $100 for their 15 laps worth of work. Oh, that's going to be a no bueno. Nope, not going to happen. That one's going to get called back. Stevie Clark on the loud pedal way too early. Mark Orr says, no bueno. That's a hard no. That's not going to happen. So we'll stack them up 2 by 2. Let's see if he gives them the stink eye this time at the line. A little bit, not too bad to give him the business a little bit. Stevie Clark ready to get after it just a little bit early. He said the cone off of turn number 4. So where the drivers need to be side by side. Take 2, heat race number 1. So he gets 34 where he needs to go, not going to go green. Got to get Brad Evans where he needs to go. Scheduled to go outside row number 2 in the 34. So Evans either electing to start at the tail or the race receiver not working. Either way, Bus going to leave without him. He'll stay there in the back, as we'll show him 1 to go here at the line, I do believe. Evans thinking about it. Nah, I'm not sure. And I think we're just going to go with it. So field being shown 1 to go. All right, here we go. The Hornets getting ready to get after it here. Take 2. Clark and Eastis looking for a good start off turn. That looks much better already. I think we're going to like it. Green flag in the air, off and racing. On the break, it looks like Stevie Clark going to lead the charge down the back straightaway. Jason Spencer out front, the 7-8, he'll lead him by. Spencer out front, Allen in the 2nd spot. Headley Jr. trying to make his way to the front of the 00. He sits in the 3rd spot. Halfway, 4 down, 4 to go. Spencer out front in the 78. White flag in the air, 1 to go. Third spot will be James Headley Jr. in the 00. Your runner-up, Gage Allen, the 24. Race fans, how about it? Put your hands together. Your heat race winner, driving the 28. It's Jason Spencer. Second and final. Hornet heat race getting ready to roll out on the racetrack. Andrew Clark in the 0-2, makes his return to action. And the retrofitted grocery getter, now the 0, that's James Headley. And the old wagon there. Randy Brommer inside row number 2, the 75C. Mark Casto, the newcomer, the 96. Jesse Arenas to the 09. Colton Solers will make up row 3. And Dustin Franks back in action on the 19. So 4 cylinders ready to go. 8 laps here. This will set the outside row. Their 15 lapper a little bit later here this evening. So Andrew Clark, James Headley, veteran racers here at Gas City. Get after here off turn number 4. Everybody tiptoeing off at turn number 2. It's James Headley, the veteran. Picked up the win out here a couple weeks ago in Hornet action. He'll lead a by for lap number 1. Quickly out front is the Marion driver, Headley. Clark sits in the 2nd spot. Brommer 3rd here. Heat race action for the Hornet division. Headley right now, comfortable advantage here in the midpoint of the heat race here tonight. Everybody right now kind of single file. And we're halfway, 4 down, 4 to go for the veteran, Headley. White flag for James Headley. Headley going to pick up the win. He'll start outside the front row. Andrew Clark comes home 2nd, and Colton Solers rounds out the 3rd spot. So Solers comes home 3rd in the 33. Andrew Clark, your runner-up in race fans. How about it, James Headley? Heat race winner here in the 4 cylinders.
All right, well, that wraps up the heats for the 4-cylinder Hornet division. In the heat number 1, Jason Spencer came away with the victory. Gage Allen was 2nd. James Headley Jr. was 3rd. And then in heat number 2, Colton Solers was 3rd. Andrew Clark in 2nd. And then in the glorified grocery getter, James Headley Sr. came away with that victory in heat number 2. So now we're going to move on to the modifieds. The modified division, once again, 2 heats in that. Getting ready to race here. So once again, Rob Goodman, our track announcer, will take it away.
To the outside of him, Bill Griffith in the 4. Scott Orr, your current point leader, feature winner so far this year. Terry Grilliot in the 24, and Luke Timmerman out back. Here we go. So the big horsepower 8-inch tired machines on the hammer here at Gas City. Defending track champion Dylan Nussbaum going to lead a by for lap number 1. Bubba Roberts, who's not had a stellar 2019 campaign, looking to turn it around here tonight. The T5X quickly up to the second spot, Betts third, but now will push up under attack by Bill Griffith. So the Warsaw driver comfortably out front here, but here comes the T5X starting to chop into that advantage down to about 2 car lengths. Top 3 is where you got to be for the redraw halfway. 4 down, 4 to go. Josh Betts right now on the outside looking in. Griffith to the inside, Roberts for that second spot, trying to get a little safety when it comes to the redraw. Now, Roberts on the hot seat. Betts trying to run down him. Meanwhile, Dylan Nussbaum out front right now, the 16 machine. Front 4 broken away here in heat race number 1. White flag will be in the air. 1 trip left for Dylan Nussbaum in a 16. Nussbaum out front. Griffith in second right now. The T5X Bub Roberts holding on to that final redraw spot off turn number 4. Give the heat race win to Dylan Nussbaum. Griffith comes home second. Bub Roberts goes to the redraw. He's third. Josh Betts fourth. Grillo comes home with a fifth spot. Scotty Orr sixth, then Luke Timmerman, the veteran, seventh. So third spot will go to Bub Roberts. He'll go to the redraw. Your runner-up, the 4G of Bill Griffith. And race fans, how about it out of Warsaw, Indiana? Put your hands together. Dylan Nussbaum in the 16 machine. Second and final UMP modified heat race, getting ready to roll out of the racetrack. Once again, top 3 go to the redraw. Michigan racer Garrett Rod to the pole, the 9 machine alongside him. Out of Columbia City, Indiana, the 96, that is Aaron Orr. Row 2 out of Gas City, that's Andy Bishop in the 77. And Clayton Bryan on the 114 to the outside of him. Jessica Swarf, second generation racer out of Huntington, Indiana, the 14. And out of Angola, Indiana, the 27 of Jason Jones. All right, 6 cars, 8 laps, top 3 go to the redraw. Here we go, green flag, and we're after it. Everybody looking for a little room to operate here quickly down the back straightaway. Andy Bishop, the Gas City driver, tried to sneak his way into the front of the field. Meanwhile, we're thinking about going 3 wide for that second spot. So the big horsepower modifieds looking for a little gription here, Gas City. Aaron Orr out front, Bryan second right now. Andy Bishop on the hot seat. So Aaron Orr led them all so far. Clayton Bryan gets a little bit of what we call snug. Big push there through 3 and 4. That'll cost him. He'll drop back to that third spot. The 77, current street stock point leader, sits in the second spot here, Andy Bishop. Front 3 broken away right now. Those are the redraw positions. Set the first 3 rows for their 20-lap main event. Pretty good action up front here. Final heat for the modified. Clayton Bryan. Good stuff, all 3 of them in the redraw here. You don't have to get too crazy. Andy Bishop comes home in the third spot. 114, Clayton Bryan is your runner-up. And out of Columbia City, India, how about a race, fans? Aaron Orr, the 96 machine, picking up the final.
All right, that was heat number 1 of 2 heats of the modifieds. 1 more heat to go.
Actually, Roger, I think that was the second heat.
Oh, excuse me, it
of
was.
the modifieds. We got the tough
Yes.
trucks coming out now.
I meant to say that our final division here will be the tough trucks, and in the tough trucks we have 1 heat there in this division. This will be our only heat.
One neat story in the tough trucks. Abby Whirling in the 709 usually races a Hornet here at Gas City, and if I'm not mistaken, it is here at Gas City her tough truck debut. It might be her tough truck debut in general. Not for sure on that, but she usually is a weekly competitor in the Hornet division as they go green.
Here we go. The tough trucks. Rob Goodman.
So the pickup trucks wheeling and dealing here at Gas City down the back straightaway. Quickly out front, Kevin Knittel. And the 82 will lead him by for lap number 1. So the 82 showing the way. Devin Howard of the 316 up to the 2nd spot. Leslie Hurd now 3rd. Good battle here off at turn number 2. We're going to go 3 wide down the back straightaway here. 3 trucks in, or 3 and 4. Will everybody make it out? That's the question. So far, so good as the 2 machine. Dustin Ratliff comes out the big winner of that exchange. He's up to the 2nd spot. Kevin Knittel on a Friday night cruise in the 82. He's your leaders. We're halfway, 4 down, 4 to go. So good stuff here for the 2nd spot. Meanwhile, Kevin Knittel checked out, gone here. 99 off the pace. Andy King looks like he's going to live it back to the pit area. Final heat of the night, and I believe we will see the white flag coming up. In fact, we will for Kevin Knittel in the 82. Dustin Ratliff has been hustling the 2 truck here at Hicks Lawn Service back to machine. Down the back chute, final time, Kevin Knittel, dominating fashion, will pick up the heat race win here tonight at Gas City. First to Mark Orr's checkered flag, good run for Dustin Ratliff. He comes home 2nd. 3rd spot will be Leslie Hurd and Devin Howard. Rounds out top 4. So headed back to the pit area, race fans. Nice round of applause. Your tough truck heat race winner, the 82, Kevin Knittel.
All right, well, Jacob Quick, that was indeed heat for the tough trucks. Kevin Knittel running away with heat, with that heat victory. Dustin Ratliff in 2nd, Leslie Hurd in 3rd. And so now that does it tonight for our heat racing. We're going to have about a 15-minute break between the heats and the features. So while we have a few minutes, we're going to send it down to the pits where Luke Watson is going to give us some insights.
I'm here with Jerry Gappins today. He is the promoter for the Gas City track. Jerry, one of the things that they are driving tonight are sprint cars, as one you can see behind us. Jerry, why are they called sprint cars?
Well, basically because they run sprint races. They're short, quick races. We're used to NASCAR racing on TV, IndyCar racing on TV, Indy 500. Most of the NASCAR races are 400 or 500 miles in length. Here, they'll run 25 laps here tonight. So on a quarter-mile track, that's not a lot of miles. You know, it's 5 to 7 miles so it's a sprint. No different than an Olympic runner. You got your sprinters, you got your long-distance runners. Well, these are sprinters, and that's how they basically got their names. They go with that. And pound for pound, weight ratio to horsepower ratio, probably the most exciting form of motorsports there is.
You know, speaking of weight, I myself, a big guy, I'm going to try to get in here now. As you can see, it's a pretty small car, but I think I'm able to fit inside. It's pretty small for us, but as you can see, there's a little bit of room here. And man, I could be quite the racer here. Randall, I can't fit. I'm so sorry. I'm not able to fit. I am so sorry. Oh my gosh, that's frustrating.
Oh, watch that. That's going to leave a mark. Not so much here, but maybe up here a little. You okay? You dizzy?
I'm fine. Thank you. So can I keep going? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about the tires? I know there's something really interesting about them.
Yeah, basically, you know, you got a sprint, you got a roll cage. This is for driver safety right here. The seats, the steering wheel, open wheel car. So that means there's no fender over the tires. On your left front right or left rear, you've got a smaller tire. If you move the camera around this way, you're going to see a larger tire on the right rear, and that's called stagger. And what that does, that helps the race car go around the corner, because your left side tire is a little smaller, so it helps them go around the corner. And then, as I said, you got a fuel tank right here, the bumper they get pushed off with. Tonight we're running winged, so there's two types of sprint cars in the United States, winged and non-winged. The winged cars we have tonight, this big airfoil is 25 square feet. And what that does, that helps hold the car down to the ground. It gives it downforce, almost like an airplane upside down. So that air force is coming down on top of the wing, give them more traction and therefore more speed going into the corners. Makes them go a little bit faster than a non-winged sprint car. So the other part of the wing, from a safety standpoint, if one of these cars would begin to flip, this acts as a giant parachute. It kind of helps take some of that wind and that velocity out of a flip. So it's also a good added feature from a safety standpoint as well.
Now, Jerry, do you think that offensive linemen should be trying to drive these cars?
Not now. I would need to Jaws life to get in just like you. But back when I was in high school in the late 70s over here at Tri-Central High School, I was about 185, 195 pounds, and I could fit in one really well. But those days are gone.
Well, Jerry, thank you so much. These are some of the cars you'll see here tonight and not many other times. So this is a real treat. Thank you so much. We're going to go back to Roger now.
All right, Luke Watson, thank you so much. I don't know when the last time we've seen, well, that will probably be the last time we ever see a left tackle try to get into one of the sprint cars. But, you know, Jerry mentioned high school 185. I think last time Luke was 185 was third grade.
Might be. I know that I am not 185, and I'd have to eat a lot to get to that point. But something really cool that's happening right now here on the front stretch is the redraw. We talked about it earlier. The top 6, so the top 2 from each heat, come down and do a redraw for the starting position in the feature. And they're actually getting the kids involved down here on the front stretch, allowing them to draw the number for the drivers, which then sets the first 6 starting positions for the feature. It looks like some of the guys have posters and T-shirts and different things signed to be able to give away to fans and to those young kids that are helping them determine their starting position. One of the fun things that happens out here on a Friday night.
Well, we've had already a lot of fun here and some good racing in the first in terms of the heats, and saw some good racing. But now when you get into the features, you know, not 8 laps, we're talking, you know, 15 to 25 laps depending on your division, but strategy can come into play a little bit more. You know, just mechanical failures and issues can come into play here. But this is what these guys come here for tonight now, is these feature races. They'd love to walk away with a victory here in Gas City tonight.
Yeah, and Luke and Jerry mentioned it, but the wing sprint cars don't come here very often, and so it would be a really important win, an exciting win for some of these guys if they're able to collect it tonight, picking up a wing sprint car win here at Gas City. I believe they run 3 times, 3 different series that are coming in. And you can see Rob Goodman down there talking to one of the drivers now. Looks like here in the middle of the redraw, maybe have 2 or 3 left to go to determine that top 6 starting positions. And you can make or break your night depending upon that. You mentioned it, it's a sprint race, so 25 laps. And if the right guy gets that #1 position, and I believe he just drew a #1 based on that response right there, and that's huge. You get that clean air, you get out in front, and you get the preferred line that you would like to run, and everybody's chasing you from there. So we saw Chase Ridnour be able to make a really great pass in turn 4 in one of those heat races, and unless you can get your preferred line and get your nose down in there going into one of the corners, it's going to be tough going. So
you know, you talked about getting out in front, getting that preferred line, some you know, just some fresh air in front of you. Going back to the Hornets division, James Headley Sr. in I called it the glorified grocery getter. What was that last year where he had the Christmas tree on top and painted like the family truckster, I believe. But
Yes, the last Friday we had Clark Griswold
Yes.
driving that car, and that video actually got over 160,000 views on Facebook, over 1,000 shares, and we had a track in Texas say that we'll pay you to come race it at our facility. I don't know if he'll take him up on that, but
well, we'll see how James can do in the feature. Well, Jacob, we're going to take a break here. Don't go away. Much more racing coming your way on WIWTV. And welcome back once again to WIWTV and our coverage of racing, coming to you live from the Gas City I-69 Motor Speedway. Along with Jacob Quick, I'm Roger Alcock and the rest of our WIWTV crew. While we are waiting for the features, we're going to send it down once again trackside to Luke Watson with a special guest.
I'm here with Mike Castro tonight. Mike just released his first country single out onto Spotify. It's getting some radio play now. It's called The Struggle Is Real. Mike, can you tell us what inspired you for that song?
Well, I've always been a fan of country music, especially the traditional sound since I was little. And, as I got older, I just wanted to contribute my part and keep that sound alive. So that's why I'm doing it.
That's great. So, Mike, I also heard that your brother's racing tonight. Talk to me a little about what it's like, the relationship between you guys, and what it's like to root him on from here.
Oh, it's awesome, man. He's my younger brother. He's a lot bigger than me, actually, over there. But it's great. This is his first race, and it's awesome to see him out here racing. Such a great track out here. So, yeah, awesome. Love it.
Did you ever used to race with him, maybe, or inspire him into it?
No, actually, no. I've never raced at all, and he's just getting started in it, really. So, yeah, this is being his first race and everything. I was kind of surprised. He told me, he's like, hey, I'm going to start racing. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. So here we are to cheer him on. So, yeah.
That's great. Well, thanks so much, Mike. If you can check out his single, it's new, The Struggle Is Real. Thanks for coming out tonight, Mike.
Hey, appreciate it. Check it out on Spotify and all platforms. It's available. Thank you.
Thanks. Back to you, Roger.
All right. Thank you so much, Luke Watson and Jacob. Again, we're in our intermission between the heats and the beginning of our features. We'll have the sprint cars. That'll be our first feature, 25-lap feature event there. Then, of course, the 600cc winged micro sprints. That'll be a 15-lap feature. Up after that will be the Hornet division, a 15-lap feature. In the modifieds, it's going to be father against son, the Headleys.
That's actually
they're in the Hornets.
That's in the
Excuse
Hornets,
me.
yes.
Yeah, they're in the four-cylinder in the Hornets. But Papa and his son, we'll see who comes away. Maybe neither one, but of course.
Yeah, and if somebody else wins tonight in the Hornets, they walk away with an extra $100. We put a bounty out for the Headleys to see if somebody could beat them. Between father and son, they've won the last 5 features in the Hornet division. Now, the most recent one was Clark Griswold, a.k.a. James Headley, that famous car that was seen, I would venture to say, across the world. A lot of people commented about that car. So, yeah, we'll see if somebody can knock them off tonight. James Jr. didn't win his heat, and so he's been the fastest of the two. So it'll be interesting to see if he can fight up through traffic and make his way to the front. But Gage Allen is certainly another one to look out for. So Hornets will be a really good show. They've put on a lot of really good races this year, and you see if the Headleys can be dethroned from victory lane.
Following the Hornets will be the modifieds in a 20-lap feature, and then we'll cap things off with the tough trucks 15-lap feature. Well, we're going to take a break here. Well, we've got an opportunity, so don't go away. We'll be back with more racing right after this.
Luther believed that God was always about half-ticked with him, always out to get him. And this is something that Luther has to overcome. And Luther overcoming this warped view of God is an important part of the Reformation.
Didn't make the sunshine.
Heard the Candyman can.
Candyman can. Well, Jacob, welcome back, everyone, to the Gas City I-69 Speedway here. Just about 5 minutes or so away from the feature races. Now, of course, if you come to Gas City Speedway on a regular basis, you might see the track's #1 fan out in the pits making sure everyone is taken care of, has a sweet treat. And earlier this season, Randall King met the Gas City's Candyman. Who can make the sunshine?
Candyman can, Roger.
Take it away, Randall.
It's race day, but before hammer time, Dale Corporal makes sure drivers have candy time. Dale is one of Gas City Speedway's biggest fans.
Oh, look at that.
Save the bag for him, so we got a whole bag full. Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you.
I had something that I brought him a whole bag. Good. Get you some. Get you some.
And for more than 20 years of entertainment, he now gives something back to everyone.
Come over on Friday night, gives me something to do. A person said to me one time, said, "You mean you buy all that candy just give it away?" I said, "Yeah, why?" "Oh, I wouldn't do that." Well, he drank. I said, "You spend more money in the tavern one night than I do the race over here."
But fans can't live on candy alone.
Cheeseburger.
Soon enough, it's time for a hearty racetrack dinner.
Where's the salt? Gotta have onion, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And then the Candyman is off the clock, heading for his favorite seat with the best view.
You watch him go around, you can get a good angle of corners. And we're just like it here. When they go out there hot lapping, they run it in, then they'll go out there and right down in here, they're broadsiding, and some of that stuff flies up here.
As for racing X's and O's, Dale didn't grow up with the sport, but he knows what he likes.
I love the sprints, that's the main thing. Now they got up there 900. That's a lot of horses.
The thrill of this chase made Dale's retirement years better.
I have fun doing what I do, and I made a lot of friends. It's been a wonderful, wonderful ride for me.
And as long as the cars keep chasing the sunset in Gas City, this Candyman still can.
All right, welcome back to the Gas City Motor Speedway. The sun is beginning to set here. What a beautiful night here in central Indiana. Jacob, we're getting ready for the Great Lakes Super Sprints. The wing sprint cars, the feature here. Really quickly, we're going to give you the assignments here. In row number 10 is Jack James, car number 99. Row number 9, 84 is Kyle Portenga and Alexis Adgate. We saw her as well in the micro sprints. In row 8, inside Lucas Smith, car number 61. 20A is Andy Chahowski. Number 77 is inside row 7, Andrew Scheid out of Sparta, Michigan. 16W, Garrett Saunders out of Lakeview, Indiana. In row 6, Michael Summers from Warsaw, Indiana. 19J is Lyndon Jones out of Edwardsburg. Row number 5, car number 18, Josh Shantz, Waterloo, Ontario. And car number 2, Brandon Long out of Kokomo. Keep an eye on row number 4. You have on the outside Phil Gressman, the current points leader. In car number 7C, Helena, Ohio. And Dustin Daggett. Is he in the second in the standings currently? Or he's
Dustin
3?
Daggett is currently second in points. And actually, Phil Gressman is the current points leader. We saw Phil get into the outside fence there in his heat race. And looks like he was able to get the car fixed up and ready for the feature.
Well, Phil Gressman in car number 7C. 85 is Dustin Daggett. Row 3, 22M, Dan McCarron. Number 27 will be Brad Lambertson. Row 2, 49T is Greg Dahlman. Car number 11R will be Chase Ridenauer. And then in the starting row, 27X, Jared Lambertson out of Parma, Michigan. 28M, Connor Morrell out of the great state of Florida.
Fun fact here with Dustin Daggett in the 85. Last weekend, he was racing with a 410. These are 360s. He was racing in a 410 sprint car over at Eldora Speedway, part of the Kings Royal, the richest payout in sprint car history, $175,000 to win. I saw a photo earlier this week of Dustin Daggett in the same shot as Rico Abreu, Donnie Schatz, which is the 10-time World of Outlaws champion, and David Gravel, who won just a couple nights ago in the Jason Johnson Racing number 41. So really cool to see Dustin Daggett, a car we have out here tonight, racing with the NOS Energy World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series just last weekend. So some great cars. See if Phil Gressman can fight his way up through the field, starting in that 8th position on the outside of row number 4, along with Dustin Daggett. Dustin Daggett last year was leading on the last lap and got caught up in some lap traffic coming out of turn 2. And Max Stambaugh got by him for that feature win. So Dustin could almost taste the victory last year, and I'm sure he would love to get a little revenge and pick up that victory tonight.
Well, we're just moments away from feature racing action here. It's the Sprint Cars, a 25-lap feature. And just a few moments away. Boy, once again, just a beautiful setting here tonight in East Central Indiana as we're just approaching 9 o'clock p.m. and the sun beginning to set. And you know what? We've gotten some great looks from our camera crew tonight. They've done an amazing job, and especially some of those views we got from Wildcat 1 over on the east side of the track.
Seeing the cars given the signal to get some engine heat, to spin off a little bit of that track. The water trucks are out earlier, packing it down a little bit. So right now they're spinning off that top layer. The track's coming in really nicely. We're set up for a really good feature tonight. We should have some great racing. And again, it'll be kind of fun to see if Dustin and Phil can work their way through, or if Jared Lamberson or Connor Morrell, they're on the front row, can set sail and take off from this field. So set for a great night of racing, and we're getting ready to get going here. We're going to get ready to do a 4-wide salute from the Great Lakes Super Sprints here in a second. And our flagman Mark Orr and announcer Rob Goodman will get ready to take us away here.
Well, Jacob, you mentioned a little bit ago the importance of getting off to a good start, maybe getting some clear air in front of them. But well, anything can happen, and that's what makes racing fun, and we're excited to have this 25-lap feature coming up here. So we are going to send it over to our track announcer, Mr. Goodman.
And once again, race fans, thank you so much for joining us here tonight at Gas City. Just about ready to go main event racing here. The Great Lakes Super Sprints. Also, thank you for your support coming out and watching the 360s here tonight, their only visit to Gas City. As we're getting ready to go with the parade lap, the salute to you, race fans. And drivers being instructed over the one-way receiver radio for the most beautiful sight in all of motorsports. The 4-wide salute to you, race fans, here at Gas City. So this is the parade lap. Everybody up this time. Pick up your favorite sprint car driver and send them off. They get ready to go 25 laps here tonight at Gas City. Here they come, ladies and gentlemen, your Great Lakes Super Sprint A-main lineup here at Gas City. Give them a wave. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is show time here at Gas City. field being shown, 1 to go. Lamberson and Morrell, your front row. It is time to get after it, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, Gas City. It is time to get the elbows up and the hammers down. Here we go. Feature time at Gas City. Green flag and we're racing. On the break, everybody looking for some room to operate. Greg Dahlman leads the charge down the back straightaway. The 49 going to try to lead him by on a hectic lap number 1. Keep an eye on Dustin Deggett. Oh, baby, Reinauer gets out the bike over there in 1 and 2 in the block 11, puts it down on all 4. So far, so good. 2 in the books here quickly. Dahlman out front right now. The teenager in Florida sits in the 2nd spot. McCarron 3rd. Daggett quickly up to that 4th spot. Reinauer 5th. The Canadian. Chance 6th right now. Good run for him. Everybody looking to find the fast way around the Gas City surface here quickly. Ripping the laps off here. We work lap number 4. Battle for the lead. The Florida teenager, Connor Morrell. Connor up front in the 28 here. Looking strong at Gas City tonight. Alexis Adgate out of the event in the 91. Her night is done. Top 2 better hurry because here comes Dustin Daggett. Daggett started this one in the 7th spot, quickly up to 3rd. Freshman right now not really able to carve his way to the front of the field. In fact, getting passed now by Brandon Long back to the 9th spot, to the point leader. Not having a 5-star night here tonight. Lap traffic is looming. Things are going to get interesting here in a hurry. Daggett into the fence here in the front straightaway in the 85, able to keep it going, but does not help the cause. Things getting a little tricky here at Gas City. Front 2 now starting to break away. Leader out front of the 28 here. 10 in the books, 10 down, 15 to go. Dahlman now pursuing the Florida youngster down the back straightaway. James goes a lap down. And quickly to halfway. Fast and furious action here Friday night. Connor Morrell out front. Dahlman stalking him, working the middle side now. Down the front straightaway. Daggett in the 3rd spot. Reinauer 4th. McCarron 5th. So the youngster trying to get his first career feature win here at Gas City. So the 28 started P2 out front here. It should be 10 to go at the line. Starting to stretch the advantage over. And problems. One of the Lamberson boys. That is Brad Lamberson. Brings us to caution for the first time off of turn number 4. Everybody able to catch their breath here after a hectic start in the main event here tonight. $14 laps scored, 14 in the books, 11 to go. Track personnel checking out the 27 machine. Looks like he should be able to continue. Did not see what happened as all eyes were focused on your leaders who were in heavy lap traffic. So Connor Morrell out front here trying to get his first career Great Lakes Super Sprint main event feature win. Dahlman sits in the 2nd spot. Daggett, who got into the fence there about lap number 8. As if you take a look at the 85's right rear, the mud cover showing the effects of him getting into the front straightaway here at Gas City. In fact, I'm going to say the right rear might be bent on that 85 car under closer inspection. So he's going to try to limp that machine home. Chase Ridenauer sits in the 4th spot. McCarron will be 5th. Shantz, the Canadian, in the 6th spot. The 77, Andrew Scheid, started 13th up to the 7th spot, so a good run for the youngster there. Brandon Long 8th. Phil Gressman right now not having the night he's looking for, sits in the 9th spot. And I believe everybody with the exception of Jack James on the lead lap, so the 99 will drop to the tail. Looks like Lamberson now might have to go up on the business end of the hook there, so a tough break for him in the 27. So 11 laps left here. The youngster out of Florida, 15 years of age. Heard him in the redraw, said he absolutely loves the Gas City I-69 Speedway. He is out front here. Trying to take the money back to the Sunshine State. I believe the lineup is good the way they roll around the racetrack. Field being shown 1 to go. Single file, you'll see the cone on the front straightaway. So once again, you see the restart cone on the front straightaway. No passing before it. Don't run over the cone. Don't run underneath the cone. Here we go. Let's watch them off turn number 4, green flag. We're back at it. Good start for the Florida youngster. Here comes Dahlman trying to hustle the middle of the speedway. Long kisses the concrete here down the front straightaway. No harm, no foul. We keep racing. Things starting to heat up at the front. Here comes Greg Dahlman. Dahlman now takes over the lead. Dahlman, the veteran. Now the Florida teenager battles back. Good stuff here at Gas City, side by side for the lead. The 28M and the 49 putting on a show here. Laps winding down, good stuff. Dahlman will lead that lap. And problems off at turn number 2. Garrett Saunders goes for the spin cycle off of turn number 2, bringing out our second caution. And we talked about no passing before the cone. I believe Phil Gressman going to get dinged, the 2-for-1 penalty there. So Lucas Smith out of the event, headed back to the pit area. 17 laps, I believe, in the books. So a good battle up front right now. The 28M will be your leader on the last completed scored lap here. Dahlman second. Daggett with a wounded machine trying to limp that thing home to the 3rd spot. All right, lineup now starting tape J. It looks like the 16 will be able to rejoin at the tail. So we got 8 laps to So once again, talked about the Gressman having a rough night as he was not single file on that restart, so that's a 2-for-1 penalty. And showing him 1 to go. So we got 8 laps left here. How many think the teenager out of Florida can pick up the feature win tonight? How many like the veteran Dahlman? Get it in the 49, possibly. They get to racing hard. Somebody else might spoil the party completely. Here we go. 8 laps left to tell the tale here at Gas City. Let's watch them off turn number 4. Green flag, we're back at it. Great restart for Connor Morrell and the 28, but here comes Dahlman trying to wind up the top side of the 49 machine. 6 to go. Great battle up front, 5 fingers in the air this time, 5 laps to go around Gas City. Dahlman starting to get what he's looking for in the middle of the racetrack. In fact, he'll take over the top spot. Greg Dahlman now out front here at the closing stages. Dahlman now trying to pin the ears back on the 49 machine. Scheid continues to have a great run of the 77. He'll crack the top 5 here, 3 to go. Greg Dahlman looking for feature win number 2 of the 2019 campaign. White flag will be in the air this time by for the veteran. Started 3rd, the Bellevue, Michigan natives got a quarter lap. Left to do it down the back straightaway. Here comes Dahlman. Smooth sailing for the 2nd time in 2019. Greg Dahlman, going to be a Great Lakes Super Sprint feature winner. Great run. Connor Morrell comes home 2nd. Dustin Daggett comes home 3rd. So Greg Dahlman gonna get a feature win here tonight at Gas City. Things got a little exciting off of turn number 4, but this one is in the books. So one of the veteran racers of the Michigan sprint car scene will get his first career Gas City checkered flag here tonight, his 2nd Great Lakes Super Sprint. A main in 2019. I'm guaranteed he'll be fired up down here in Victory Lane. The Maxima Racing Oil Kistler Engine Pro Mech. 49 machine. Getting the safety gear out and starting to make his way out of the race car. Big hug from the crew here. We'll get him on the front side here at Gas City. Ladies and gentlemen, your feature winner, Greg Dahlman. Greg, in the redraw, you said you love the bull rings. How much fun was that, my man?
I hope it was as fun watching it as it was racing. Woo! Hell yeah, I love this place. You know, like I said, I love the small joints where it's a racer's deal. It's not all horsepower. You got to finesse it. Hell of a job by Connor Morrell. Dustin was there. Thanks fans, for coming out and supporting.
I tell you what, great battle between you and the youngster there. It looks like after that restart, you kept working the middle, especially off of 2, and you kind of finally found something there with the race car. Man, it set sail after that.
Yeah, we just kept trying to catch the top of 2 there to slingshot us. Really, our line was right here down in 4. We could catch the middle of 4 right there where it was dark, and that's where we could run up on him, but hell of a job by the kid.
Who are some of the people that help you out here get your first career win here at Gas City, your second Great Lakes Super Sprint win of the year?
Maxim Oils, Kistler Engines, Promec, Perfect, Engine Pro, 19 Design, and like I said, that crew right there. This is a family operation. These guys bust their ass night in and night out.
Well, the good news, my man, you get to do it again tomorrow night at Indiana Bull Ring at the Montpelier Motor Speedway. He reaches way down to the 50-50, and it is a red 50-50 ticket. We had a whole bunch of colors in here, so red is what we're looking for. 05.
All right, well, exciting race, an exciting finish to that sprint car feature, the checkered flag. We had all sorts of action near the finish line, but great race there by the number 49 T car, Greg Dahlman out of Bellevue, Michigan. Connor Morrell had kind of jumped out to the early lead, led for probably a good first 2/3 of that, but I think about 6 laps to go. Dahlman made his move, took the lead, and he never relinquished. Morrell finished second, and really also a nice race by Dustin Daggett to finish in 3rd there. But that's a pretty exciting feature race there tonight, and that's what the fans came to see tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great feature, and it was really fun to watch Greg Dahlman and Connor Morrell battle back and forth. Wasn't sure if the top side was going to be there for Dahlman or not, but he's able to make the pass, and then, like you said, once he took the lead, he was gone. So it was a great race. Hope the fans enjoyed it, and we still got 4 more tonight.
Yeah, we got a lot more racing to go. After this break, next we'll have the 600cc winged micro sprints, and you know, in the heats, I lost my train of thought there, but Alexis, the young lady who was in both the divisions, she had a great, Alexis Adgate had a great race in her heat, so I'll be interested to see how she does in the feature.
Yeah, and then on the outside of that front row is Mike Landis. He picked up the other winged micro sprint win this year at Gas City, so it'll be interesting to see if he gets the lead. I don't know if anybody will be able to overtake him and pick up the win, but should be a great feature. The first one this year was, and so looking forward to some more great racing tonight.
Well, the sun is just setting to our left, out to the west. A beautiful night here in Gas City. Again, we talked a little bit about it earlier, Jacob, but really almost perfect track conditions, perfect racing conditions here tonight, and really perfect conditions for the fans as well. We're going to talk a little bit more about that when we come back, but we're going to take a break. You're watching Racing from Gas City Speedway on WIW TV. Back here in Gas City, we're about ready to go green with the 600 micro sprint. So we're going to send it over to Rob Goodman, our track announcer.
All right, here we go. Adgate and Landis getting ready to bring the 600 field to life here off of turn number 4. Mark Orr likes the way they look. Green flag, and we're off and racing. So Adgate, good in heat race competition. She shows the way down the back straightaway. She'll lead them by for lap number 1, the Michigan driver. Here comes Darren Nada in the 7 machine. So a pair of Michigan racers right now, 1 and 2 early in the going. And the 7. Looking for his first career Gas City win. He's got to win at Kokomo this year on the big tracks, and we got problems. Right front tire, AWOL from the 17 machine. And the Hoosier tire going to go for the ride down the front straightaway. Good news is the wall's up there, so we'll not stylize the pickup truck over there off of turn number 1. So somebody's awfully happy right now that owns a red pickup truck. And we've got caution for the first time. So lap not completed, so that will give Alexis Adgate lineup is good. Two in the books. Colin Grissom with the 19. Or excuse me, that was Sean Bone with the 17. And the Hoosier Tire depart. His night has come to an end. So it looks like 17 just about picked up over there on the inside of 1 and 2, so just should be able to get back to action here. And the micros coming up here in a lap or two. So Adgate out front. Young Darren Nada sits in the second spot. Nate Franklin in third. Mike Landis fourth. And right now the 51, Rick Rhodes, rounds out your top 5. Believe the field will be shown. 1 to go here at the line. Once again, 2 laps complete of the scheduled 15. So we got 13 laps left here tonight. Field being shown 1 to go here at the line. So Adgate getting ready to bring the field back to life. The Michigan native trying to hold off everyone here. Tall task at hand. She's got a good hot rod. Green flag in the air. Here we go. Good restart, and she'll get a car length now. Here comes the 7 machine. Darren Nada. Top 2 breaking away here. (91.712) right now. Now Fitzpatrick moving up to the 3rd spot. And challenge for the lead, the black 7. Darren Nida taking over the top spot. Laps cooking off in a hurry. Lap traffic looming for your leader. I believe that is the 99K. Jacob Coop going a lap down. Right now, Darren Nida having his way with a 600 field, trying to get him a big track win here tonight. So just past halfway here for your leader, getting into the second half. Darren Nida out front in control. Gage Wilson out of the event, the 20 machine headed down to the pit area. His night's done. So Adgate starting to fade here a little bit. Darren Nida out front on cruise control. Franklin in the 2nd spot. Landis 3rd. Should see the white flag. And we will. White flag in the air, 1 to go. Off of turn number 4, give the 600 main event. Darren Nida picks up his first career Gas City win. Nate Franklin will come home second. Mike Landis third. Alexis Adgate comes home fourth. Tyler Fitzpatrick rounds out your top 5. So we'll make our way down the front straightaway and have a chat with the youngster out of Michigan, the 7N, picking up his first career Gas City checkered flag. Ollie's Bargain Outlet on the machine. Long-time racing family. As we talked about, picked up a win at Kokomo earlier this year. Gets a win on the big track here as well. Also all-star performance, Dusty's Collision on the side of the 7N machine. And he'll add another feature win sticker to the tail tank. Dad down here as well. Gets all the safety gear off. Here he is, race fans, your 6. He's going to do a wing stand. He's fired up. Oh, yeah. All right, man, great job. You like these big tracks, don't you?
Yeah, they're fun.
Who are some people that help you out there besides that guy over there in the black T-shirt, your dad?
My mom, my little brother, Core Racing, Salon Lucero, License to Play, Ollie's Bargain Outlet, and just everybody else that helps out.
All right, man. How's your season going? I know you picked up a win at Kokomo, but there's some more feature win stickers on this thing here. Looks like you've had a pretty good 2019 so far.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Did I see your little brother got banged up though, didn't he?
Yeah, broke his arm at US 24 in a crash.
How'd your mom handle all that?
He wasn't excited.
I bet not. So how long is your little brother going to be on the shelf for before he can get back to racing with you? I know you guys do this as a family. You guys have a lot of fun doing it.
Probably like 7 more weeks, I think. I don't know.
So you got at least like 7 more feature wins before he comes back, right?
Hopefully.
All right, race fans, how about it? Put your hands together for Darren picking up his first career Gas City feature win. As the Hornets getting ready to come out for their 15-lapper next.
All right, there you have the champion of the 600cc winged micro sprints. That was Darren Nida and Jacob, the young man out of Michigan. Wow, what a race he had. He pulled away at about lap number 5, and he clear sails, and he ran away with that feature event.
Yeah, he had a really good race. Once he got the lead, he certainly was not going to be caught. So really impressive run by him, impressive car in general. I'm sure Mom and Dad are really excited. Mom was definitely excited as she went down there to victory lane, and I think one of the photographers might have even had to ask her to step back just a little bit so they can get some victory shots of Darren. But definitely a happy driver, happy family, and kudos to him on a great race.
Nate Franklin in the 87 car came in second, and Mike Landis in the 3L car finished in third. Those are your top 3. That was the feature event for the 600cc winged micro sprint. So their next feature will be the Hornets, a 15-lap feature. Before that, though, we're going to check in once again downstairs with Luke Watson.
Well, I'm here tonight with Jimmy Hillegas. Jimmy, how long have you been coming here to the Gas City Speedway?
A little over 20 years.
So what first got you into the races here? What got you to come here in the first place?
Just the love of auto racing. I just love the sport. I mean, it's just something to do on a Friday night. Every Friday.
That's really great. So what's kept you coming here for all those years? Anything really, like any of your favorite races?
Just the excitement of the racing, and you know, just dirt track racing. That's where it's at. Better than asphalt.
Did you ever think about racing yourself?
Oh, a long time ago, but that's come and gone. Too old for that sport.
Well, thank you so much, Jimmy. Back to you, Roger.
Are having a good time tonight, but I think Luke Watson's having a good time tonight. He's quickly becoming a race fan, I think.
Yeah, I think we might have to get him in a race car here in the next couple of weeks. Maybe get the football team to sponsor it, bring it out. You just pointed it out, Roger. This sunset here at Gas City is absolutely beautiful. We see them nearly every Friday night for racing, and it's a beautiful backdrop that we get to have here at the track. But the Mighty Four Bangers, as our announcer Rob Goodman would say, are rolling out on the track. It'll be interesting to see if anybody can beat the Headley family. And if they do, we mentioned it, $100 extra to that winner if they can beat the 0 or 00 of James Headley or James Headley Jr.
Well, James Headley Sr., the 0 car, there you see the glorified grocery getter, number 0, be on the outside of lane 1. Then in the row 1. Then in row 3 on the inside, James Headley Jr. Just about ready to get racing here in the Hornet. This will be a 15-lap feature event. All right, just about ready to go. So we're going to send it on down to our track announcer, Mr. Rob Goodman.
All right, 15 ready to go. Spencer's been good this year. James Headley in the grocery getter. The old 0 machine ready to get after it. To finish first you must finish. So let's see who can endure 15 fast ones getting ready to go. Pitter patter, let's get at her. Hornet racing here tonight at Gas City. On the break, everybody minds their P's and Q's. Good run down the back straightaway for Headley in the 0 machine. Jason Spencer right there at the 78, lap 1 of the book, 1 down, 14 to go. Headley out front. Gage Allen right now up on the wheel of the 24. He sits in that 3rd spot. Andrew Clark giving the 0-2 a good run. Jesse Arenas in the 0-9 out. Headed down out of the event. Front 5 broken away. Looks like Mark Castro, the newcomer of the 96, will soon be a lap down. Headley trying to go 2 for 2 in as many tries here. Castro going to go a lap down of the 96. So far, so good for the veteran James Headley. Headley now starting to stretch out his advantage over Jason Spencer. Allen to the inside of him. They got the elbows up for the runner-up spot here. Brad Evans in the 34, soon to go a lap down to your leader. We're halfway, 8 down, 7 to go, so things happen in a hurry here. Looks like the 75 off the pace. Flat tire. Jacob Beard out of the event. Flat tire ends his night just past halfway. Allen up to the 2nd spot of the 24 in the green machine. Spencer in 3rd. Now they start working lap traffic. Looks like 465 on Indy on a Friday night. And I believe the trunk has fallen off of the X machine. That's a true story, Stevie Clark. Bringing out the caution. Looking at it going, that looks like that might be mine. So got to get 11 where he needs to go. A lapped machine. I believe the 32, Joey East, is the final car on the lead lap. 8 in the books, 8 down, 7 to go. Lineup now starting to look copacetic here tonight at Gas City. All right, lineup is happy. Furled green flag, letting me know next time by we get back to business. Headley right now has had his way with the Hornet main event, but Gage Allen will be on the back bumper for the restart. Anything can happen. Jason Spencer continues to be impressive here. He sits in the 3rd spot. James Headley Jr. 4th, and a good run so far for Andrew Clark, returning competition to 0-2. He sits in the 5th spot. Holden Soller 6th. And playing a little bumper tag here. Here we go, back at it here. 7 laps left. Headley gets a good restart down the back straightaway. He'll pull 2, now 3 car lengths over Gage Allen. Should have 5 figures in the air. 5 laps to go for James Headley. Gage Allen having a good run. He sits in the 2nd spot. Getting down to the brass tacks here in the 4 cylinders. James Headley in control of the grocery getter. Once again, going to start lurking lap traffic. He'll drop Brad Evans a lap down, and once again to the 34 car with a handful of laps left here. Believe we should see the white flag next time by. And down the back straightaway, let's see Headley going to get the white flag. 1 trip left around Gas City for the veteran. Works his way off of turn number 4. It's going to be James Headley picking up the win. So Headley picks up the win. Gage Allen comes home 2nd. James Headley Jr. 3rd. Jason Spencer 4th. And rounding out your top 5 is a 0-2 of Andrew Clark. We'll make our way down the front straightaway. Have a word with James Headley. So James Headley gets him another feature win here in the Hornet division. We'll make our way down the front straightaway. Have a word with a veteran racer. Coming up next will be the UMP Modified main event. He's climbing out of the car. How about it, race fans? James Headley. Picking up another feature win in the grocery getter. James, man, you've been racing a long time. I've watched you race for a long time. I don't see as many big smiles on your face as I've had the last few years. You're having an absolute ball with this thing, aren't you?
Yeah, this is a good time, and I love racing Jim Tom. Wish he could have got up there, but he fell short on the stick on that one.
Yep, absolutely. Bragging rights will be for the old man this week. And you had so much fun with the grocery getter. Looks like you kept the wagon body on it.
Yeah, I did want to change it. Just got a few more sponsors. Got Scat, Total Seal, BP Racing Fuel, Diamond Engineering. We picked up a few after we won that big Griswold race.
Yeah, absolutely. How much fun was that, and especially for your family who may not necessarily follow racing all the time? What do they think when they saw the pictures all over social media?
They said, you crazy bleep. That's about it.
Well, there's no doubt he's crazy. There's also no doubt he's fast here at Gas City. Race fans, how about it, James Headley? As the UMP Modifieds getting ready to roll out for their 20-lap main event coming up next.
Well, Jacob Quick, James Headley takes home another trophy, and no one has collected that bounty yet.
No, they have not. He is the winningest driver in Gas City I-69 Speedway history. He was inducted into the Wall of Honor earlier this season, along with Chuck Landis from the Chronicle Tribune. But yes, no one collected the bounty tonight. And when they are on the racing card again, which I believe...
In 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks, yes. August 9th, the Beach Night Bash with the Boss Sprint Cars. I'm told that bounty will increase for somebody to beat either James Headley or James Headley Jr. So the winningest driver picks up another win here tonight at Gas City I-69 Speedway.
Well, Gage Allen came in second in the 24A car. In third was James Headley Jr. in 00. Fourth, Jason Spencer started on the pole, car number 78. And then Andrew Clark, the number 2 car, in 5th. Well, that's 3 out of our 5 feature events in the books. Coming up will be the Modifieds. And that'll be a 20-lap feature coming up here in just a little bit when we're ready. But looking for exciting racing there. We've had some great racing tonight.
Yeah, we have. We've been treated to a great night here at Gas City Speedway, and excited to have 2 more features on the docket.
We're going to check in down in the stands really quick with Luke Watson.
Jesse, how long have you been racing here at the Gas City Speedway?
I've been here since day one when Thompson Miller had it. It's always been a fun and a fast track. A lot of great memories, a lot of great people. I worked at GM in Marion, and we're here from Sebring. Enjoy this place.
So how many years did you race here?
I raced here 28 years with sprint cars.
So with all those years of racing, did you ever have any injuries or big crashes?
Yeah, I've had one at East Bay where I got a metal rod put in my lower back, and then I had one in, I think it was Shady Hill, and they put a plastic rod. Thanks to Dr. Canavani in Fort Wayne, did a good job.
So what keeps you coming back to the racetrack even after all the years of racing?
Once it's in your blood, you can't get rid of it.
Well, Roger, back to you.
All right, the Modifieds are underway. It's a 20-lap feature.
Aaron Orr out front, getting some pressure from Dylan Nussbaum down the back straightaway. Early in the going here for the Modifieds. Orr looking for his first feature win. 2019. Scott Orr in the 88's got a feature win. Everybody else here digging for their first checkered flag of 2019 here on a Friday night. Now Dylan Nussbaum of the 16 machine, the defending track champion, starting to get that thing wound up around the top side of Gas City. He'll jump to the top spot down the back straightaway. Nussbaum out front in the 16, and we got caution. And there is debris in the middle of 1 and 2. Reason for the caution, you see it right there in the middle of the racetrack. All right, field going to be shown 1 to go here. 4 laps complete, 4 down of the scheduled 20. So Nussbaum, the defending track champion, finds himself out front here. Aaron Orr having a stout run on the 96, sits in the 2nd spot. So far, good night for Bubba Roberts, 3rd. Andy Bishop 4th, and Bill Griffith, the Buckeye, right now rounds out your top 5. Long, long way to go, though. 4 in the books, 16 left. Let's watch them off turn number 4, the restart here. Green flag, and we're back at it. So Dylan Nussbaum leads the charge off at turn number 4 and 5, down 15 to go. Aaron Orr now gets some pressure by Bub Roberts with the T5X. Nussbaum out front now. Bubba Roberts challenging. It will go yellow. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Scott Orr gets caught up in a mix-up here, tar number 4. Garrett Ron to the 9 machine. Problems for him. Headed back to the pit area. Tough break for the Michigan racer. Knight is done. So lineup is good the way they roll around the racetrack. I believe the 88 will be able to continue on. Looks like a right rear tire possibly. Possibly bent in the 88 machine, much like we saw Dustin Daggett's sprint car. Take a good look at here under power. So or possibly, yep, take a shot in the right rear. So he may just try to limp that car home. He's your current point leader here in the division. So got to try to salvage a good points night. Field being shown 1 to go. 7 laps scored, 7 down, 13 to go. Tough Trucks coming up next. So Nussbaum, the defending track champion, searching for his first feature win of 2019 here. Been strong all night. Bub Roberts looking for a great night as well. The defending Montpelier track champion. Green flag, here we go. Close it in on halfway here. Here comes Bub Roberts. Halfway. And Clayton Bryant's tough night continues. Flat right rear. Try to limp it off. Will stay green. Good job for Clayton Bryant keeping it going. We stay green. Now Andy Bishop up to that 3rd spot as we get into the closing stages. Dylan Nussbaum having his way here tonight at Gas City. Going to try to seal the deal. Bub Roberts 2nd, Bishop 3rd, Aaron Orr 4th, Griffith in the 5th spot. Laps winding down. Five laps to go, 5 fingers in the air for Dylan Nussbaum, the Warsaw, Indiana driver. out front right now on cruise control. Andy Bishop right now there in order, the best race on the track right now for that third spot. Griffith holds on to fourth, Griffith fifth, Betts at the sixth spot. Right now it's all Dylan Nussbaum though. Griffith gonna throw his hat into the ring for that battle for the third spot. Might have a three-way dance to round out their podium. Nussbaum right now turning and burning to the 16. Look out. And we're going to stop him. Bub Roberts, I believe, may have lost the right front tire. Went for a wild ride over there, 3 and 4. Came back down on all 4. And I believe it's what we like to see, race fans. How about it, Bub Roberts climbing out of his car? Okay. So Roberts obviously dejected, had a great run here tonight. Walking away from the race car. Not very happy, but A-okay. That's what we like to see here. So that'll set us up for a late race restart here. He's got the helmet off, race fans. Nice round of applause for Bubba Roberts. 17 laps down, 3 to go. So unfortunately, it looks like maybe the right rear Hoosier off the T5X here. So 3 laps left here, working on the lineup as the Bub Roberts. All right, lineup getting set here. 3 laps left. Great job, as always, by the safety crew here at Gas City, making sure everyone is A-okay. And lineup shaped up on the back straightaway, so we should be able to show the field 1 to go. So 3-lap shootout here tonight for the UMP Modifieds. So lineup now taking shape. As soon as the ambulance gets back in position, we'll be able to go back to green flag racing here at Gas City. All right, ready to rock and roll here. Field being shown 1 to go, 3 laps. Settle the score here in the modifieds. Some hungry guys up front. Dylan Nussbaum looking for his first feature win. Andy Bishop, quite a few street stock wins here in 2019. He'd love to park that 77 on the front straightaway. Aaron Ord like to spoil everybody's party of the 96. So 3 laps to wrap it up. Dylan Nussbaum's been in control for the majority of this race. Let's see what he can do off at 4. 3 laps left. Green flag, here we go. Aaron Orr is going to try to get a wound up on the top side. Here comes Bill Griffith of the Ford machine, the Buckeye, trying to stick it in, and he will. Griffith now to the second spot. Great restart for him. Griffith utilizing the restart to his benefit. And problems for Andy Bishop. I believe something breaking on that car off of turn number 2. Unfortunately, I believe problems in the rear end of the 77. And tough break for the veteran out of the race car. All right, so tough break for Bishop going off on the hook here. We have 2 laps left, 2 laps to go. So we'll keep an eye on Bill Griffith. A great restart of the Ford machine, went from 4th to 2nd, the Ohio driver. So Nussbaum, the defending track champion, has been absolutely flawless so far tonight. He'll have to make 2 more trips around Gas City to try to seal the deal. Aaron Orr, 3rd spot tonight. Josh Betts, 4th. Terry Grillo, top 5 run for him so far in the 24. Talked about Scott Orr's right rear damage on the machine. Your current point leader just trying to salvage a good night. Currently sitting 8th, so trying to make the best of a damaged race car, your point leader. So the field will be shown 1 to go here for Mark Orr, setting us up for the famous green-white checker finish here. Nussbaum going to be a restart leader. 2 laps left here for the Mod Squad on a Friday night at Gas City. Keep an eye on the 4. He had a great restart last time on the hammer. Green flag, we're racing. White flag in the air, 1 to go. Setting up for a barn burner here tonight with the modifieds. Nussbaum drills 1 and 2. Uh-oh, problems for Griffith. He's got all types of woes. That's going to seal the deal. Dylan Nussbaum, feature winner tonight. 7P modified feature now complete. Defending track champion Dylan Nussbaum is going to get his first checkered flag of 2019 here. We'll make our way and have a word with the driver. The 16 machine. Guarantee he's going to have a big smile on his face after finally getting a checkered flag here tonight. So getting the safety gear off. The Florida Cars, Holtzinger Seed Service, Vinyl Works, Valley Farm Supplies. Getting ready to get out of the car. There he is, race fans. Your feature winner, Dylan Nussbaum. Dylan, how about it, man? You finally get the monkey off your back here on Friday nights. You get a feature win with a 16 car. I know you're fired up.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty wore out. I got to give big thanks to Kim Wheeler, Dave Baker, Chad Lighty, wife Crystal, and Tyler to help. Everybody, everybody that's behind this thing. It's just, they never gave up on me. There's a couple of times they probably should have. These guys just, they stay behind you no matter what, and we just keep digging.
Tell you what, great night. You had to get a great restart there on that last restart with 2 to go. You absolutely nailed them through 1 and 2 and pulled away from them. So you did your job as well. And who are some of the sponsors that help you out here with the 16 car?
I got to thank Wheeler Well Drilling, Florida Cars, Hogan Engines, everybody that's on the side of this car. I mean, it's a group effort. Everybody that puts time into this thing, and all the sponsors that keep supporting us.
Takes a lot of money to keep these things going around in a circle, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and I couldn't do it without these guys.
How about a race fan? Your defending track champion, Dylan Nussbaum, picks up his first modified feature win of the season. If you're making your way out of the racetrack, thank you so much for joining us here. Hopefully we'll see you out here next Friday night. Still got the tough trucks fill out the program here tonight. Pits will be open after Tough Truck feature if you want to sneak down there and take a look at some of these race cars.
Well, Dylan Nussbaum, Jacob, you mentioned him earlier. He's Mr. Consistency here at Gas City. But tonight he comes away with the trophy here and victory in the modified finals here in that 20-lap feature. So we got one feature left to go in the Tough Trucks, but well, that was an exciting race because, Bub Roberts, another, kind of consistent figure here. He was starting to maybe trying to make his move, and then he lost the tire and almost flipped that car. He didn't flip it, thankfully, but had a couple, these late restarts, and it allowed some other guys to make a move, but Nussbaum was able to hold him off and came away with the win.
Really, he held off about 3 different drivers. You mentioned Bub Roberts. Andy Bishop was making a really good run. He broke in turn 2 there at the end, and then Bill Griffith even on that last restart. And Bill's won already this year here at Gas City, so held off 3 or 4 other cars, and a driver that won the championship last year without picking up a win. So pretty cool to see him pick up a feature win this year at Gas City, and see if he can carry that momentum for the next few weeks to come.
All right, well, Aaron Orr, who was in the pole, finished 2nd. 3rd was Josh Betts. 4th, Jessica Sroof. And then Bill Griffith, you mentioned him, he finished in 5th. Well, that is 4 of our 5 feature events in the books. 1 more to go. The Tough Trucks will come up with a 15-lap final in just a minute. But we're going to check in once again downstairs with our good friend Luke Watson.
It's been such a great night out here tonight in Gas City at the Speedway. There's been tons of fans that are so excited to be here. I've gotten to talk to some old racers, some young fans, and just tons of people who have made me really enjoy the sport tonight. We got to learn a lot about the cars, and there's still races going on with some of the trucks still going. We're still going to be out here for a little while longer, as long as the fans will be, and it's just been such a great night so far. Back to you, Roger.
I've got it right here.
All right, thank you so much. We've had fun with Luke Watson tonight, the rest of our WIW crew. Luke, Jacob, while we got just a moment here, just in case we don't get a chance to say this once again, thanks to our entire crew as we go into this final feature event, green flag, but they brought it to you tonight, and we'll talk about them more, but they've done a great job tonight. Here's Rob Goodman once again.
He won on the 31st.
Off and racing with the tough trucks, Kevin Knittel showing the way in the 82. So Knittel out front showing the way here. Devin Howard in the second spot. Right now, Dustin Ratliff in the 2. Runs third. Andy King putting some pressure on him. Ratliff so far been the class of the field of the tough trucks here tonight. Gas City final feature of the evening. Halfway here, it's all Kevin Knittel in the 82, trying to get his first career Gas City win. This one's been the Kevin Knittel show in the 82. Out front, pulling away here. Trying to get his first career Gas City feature win. Laps winding down here. Kevin Knittel. White flag, 1 to go. Kevin Knittel gotta go wire to wire. He gets a Gas City tough truck win. So Kevin Knittel rounds out the program here at Gas City. He's your tough truck feature winner. If you're making your way out of the facility, thank you so much for joining us here at Gas City. We deeply appreciate your support. Hopefully we'll see you out here next Friday night. Bring a friend along. So Knittel makes his way here at the front straight in. We'll have a word of the 82. Hicks Lawn Service helping out. Got the safety gear off. First career tough truck win here. Gas City's climbing out of the car, race fans. How about it? Put your hands together for Kevin. We'll have a word with Kevin in the 82. Had a great night here, gets the hat on, gets the suit off, still a little warm here. Kevin, welcome to Victory Lane here at Gas City. Congratulations, my man.
Thank you very much. I've raced everything, I think, on wheels, and this is my first win ever.
First win ever?
30 years of racing, and this is the first win ever.
How about a race fan? Show this guy some love. Gets a feature win here. Not only his first at Gas City, but his first ever. That's a pretty cool deal, man. Who are some of the people that help you out?
Wallace Plumbing, Hicks, Vince Wagner, Dick Levy Trucking from Versailles. And thanks to Gas City, all the fans. Thanks for inviting us to come here and race. So I just appreciate everybody just staying and watching the trucks.
I know, of course, a lot of you guys called Waynesfield home, and, of course, they kind of did away with the weekly racing there. So you guys actually, most of you, about, what, 2 hours to come over here and put a show on for everyone?
Yeah, probably 2 hours, and some of them even come from a little further than that. So we're going to try to keep on coming back if we're invited to come, and we'll just see how it goes, and we'll probably be at Montpelier tomorrow night.
Well, you get to hear these words. Kevin, congratulations. You are a feature winner, my man.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
All right, race fans, give Kevin a big round of applause. First career feature win here. And once again, thank you so much for coming out and supporting the racetrack. We can't do it without you great race fans. So on behalf of myself, Jerry Gappins, your promoter, everybody here at the track, and the owner, Jack Heimlich, thank you so much for coming out and supporting the racetrack. Hopefully we'll see you out here next Friday night. As always, get out to your local racetracks as much as you can. Support them, because we got to have you great race fans to keep this going. Safe travels, and we'll see you down the road. Good night, everyone.
You're going to...
All right, Jacob Quick. There you see Kevin Knittel, the tough truck champion there, led wire to wire, coast to coast, and he's our final champion of tonight. And boy, the fans got their money's worth tonight. A great night of racing, a great night here at Gas City I-69 Speedway, and had a lot of fun bringing it to the folks here on WIW-TV. But a lot of good racing tonight, and had some outstanding wins here as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Roger. It's almost a record, I'd say, having 5 features done by 10:08, probably 10 o'clock, really. Five great winners. We had Greg Dahlman winning the Great Lakes Super Sprints. That was a great show between him and Connor Morrell coming down to the line there. James Headley Sr. Won again in the Hornets, so that bounty will increase in 2 weeks on Friday, August 9th. We'll see how much money Jerry Gappins, our promoter, is willing to give out to see who can beat James Headley. Darren Nada, the 13-year-old, won the winged micro sprint feature in impressive fashion.
Yes, did an
pulled
amazing
away.
job.
It might have even been a half a straightaway or half a lap that he won by. Dylan Nussbaum won the UMP modified feature, his first feature win here at Gas City. He won the championship last year without picking up a win, so really cool to see him get get a win tonight and then continue that consistency we talked about earlier. And then rounding out the night, Kevin Knittel picked up his first Gas City Speedway feature win in the tough trucks. So just like you said, a great night of racing. Our next night of racing is Friday, August 2nd with the Summer Slam. We have the non-wing sprint cars, which is our traditional weekly division, our AVSCA sprints, USAC Speed 2 midgets. The modifieds will be back again, and then the street stock. So 5 classes coming up next week, Friday, August 2nd. And hopefully a lot of these fans enjoy the night. Viewers that are watching online or at home, we saw a shout out from Australia, I think it was, somebody from Kansas, and I'm sure a lot of other states and maybe even a couple other countries, not sure. But overall, I think it was a great broadcast. And I do want to give one shout out to Bernie with Indy Race Parts. He has a lot of parts throughout sprint car racing, not only here in Indiana but across the country, and he gave us a shout out on Twitter. And coming from somebody that watches a lot of broadcasts of wing, non-wing sprint car racing, shout out to the whole WIW TV team for everybody that came out here tonight to put this broadcast on. I know that we're thankful as a track that the station came out and covered it, and hopefully we made some new fans. I know Luke seemed like he was a new fan, really enjoyed interviewing folks, and I even chatted with Evan Maxwell on my way up from Victory Lane earlier, and he said how cool it was, and maybe he'll be back out for another race, and just overall a great night of racing.
Well, as you mentioned, we certainly thank all of you who commented on social media and all those other platforms and who watched tonight. But again, a special thanks to our entire WIW TV crew who brought this motorsports racing event to you tonight. You mentioned Luke Watson, trackside reporter, our entire crew of cameramen and grips and everyone else who were doing all sorts of the yeoman work down there out on the field. But of course, Dr. Randall King, Nathan Johnson, Russ Clark, Paul Crisp, the WIW TV staff. Thanks to Rob Goodman, our track announcer. And of course, thanks to you, Jacob. Great to have you aboard as part of our WIW TV crew.
Yeah, it was fun to come on and do a little commentary. I'm usually running our social media, doing our marketing, and so I told people that I had a voice for print and a face for radio, so we'll see how TV goes. But hopefully people enjoyed it, and I know it was a pleasure to work with you and had a lot of fun tonight myself.
A ton of fun. Again, thanks most of all to all of you who joined us tonight. Well, for our entire WIW TV crew, for Jacob Quick, I'm Roger Alcock. Thanks for joining us. Once again, you've been watching Sprint Car Racing from the Gas City I-69 Speedway. Good night, everybody.